Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special episode of the Yoko Masaki Show. I am your host, the Cat Ear Extraordinaire, and I hope you guys have been having a wondrous holiday and a happy new year. Um, I've been pretty much well myself in the sense of it for the holiday. It was at least survival. I can leave it at that. I don't want to give you my personal drama in that sense of it, but let's just say in dysfunctional families on the holiday, they tend to have a lot more drama. And it's no exception in the sense of this holiday for me. Didn't get much presents. Would have loved to have more presents, but it's understandable. We're in dying, trying times right now. Have a situation with our current head of state being very adolescent. We're dealing with a aftermath of a biological pandemic at the moment, which hopefully will be receding in the next few months. And hopefully 2020 will be put behind us. 2020 was supposed to be a good day for us, a day of excitement, and it turned into the worst year that we've ever had. But we did have some shining moments within these trying times of this year. And today's episode is no exception of that. This girl I've had on the show, actually, usually for you people on the show, no, most of the people I've had on the show are people that are not only people who I've worked with, people who I'm friends with, but also people that inspire me, and some people who have been very much supportive of me and my work. And it's no different with today's episode. I met her at the same time, and at the same time, not only is this episode that you guys will get to meet her, but this is also pretty much an icebreaker for me and this girl. She's very near and dear to me. And I can honestly say this might be the one present that I get to do for this year. And she is very much about that. She's a former model who's now a current cosplayer. She's also from the area of Youngstown, in the sense of it, I believe. We got to shoot today's episode. We got to shoot together. By the time this episode comes up, you'll probably see previews of the glorious shots that we've taken, including a particular character that I've always wanted to do that I've not actually talked about, that will be in a future episode on my YouTube channel, which, by the way, is still active. So you'll know more about that soon. But that being said, I definitely am excited about my guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, she's a new trailblazer in the cosplay community. You might not know her now, but you will know. You might not know her now, but you will know her soon. And I'm hoping after this episode comes up, you will get to know more about her. And she's a very special person to me, and I'm very happy to have her on the show. So here's the episode with today's special guest, Miss Stephanie Pixii. I hope you guys enjoy today's episode. Okay, so we are on live. I am here with a newcomer to me, and somewhat newcomer to most of everyone else here. We have a full house, by the way, so if you're wondering the background noise and such of it, I'm here with Stephanie Pixii. And where are you coming from, Steph? By the way, where you from?
I'm originally from Cleveland.
Okay, so and we won't say where you're currently residing, but
Well, I currently reside between Cleveland and Youngstown.
in Youngstown, yeah, that's what I thought. So the last person I knew who was from Youngstown was a friend of mine named Nicole Moe, but she relocated to Indiana. So we just finished the shoot for you guys out there just wondering. We did at least, she's the second person officially of cosplayer that I've shot with. The last person I shot with cosplay was, a lot of you guys know, was Lauren Dragneel. I did some stuff with her, including the infamous milk chocolate milk bath. That's actually a thing, by the way. We did a
I've
shoot.
seen some milk baths.
The milk bath shots. Yeah. Yeah. So we did one. She likes chocolate milk. It's sort
Oh,
of
it was a chocolate one.
It was chocolate milk. Yeah.
I've not seen a chocolate milk bath shot.
Yeah. It's. I'll send you the shots that you know about because I actually was gonna post one of them, but she's on my the border of my Facebook, on my Instagram, on my Twitter. So she's on the border of it. So as you can see, we have a couple shots that did well with Nico Robin. I got the worst. There we go. That's a good one.
Sweet.
Yeah, that was a good one too. So the brightness is not a problem. Just letting you know that sense of it. Sometimes
I like it bright. I like my skin nice and blown out.
Yeah, like that. But see, it looked nice in the video, but then when it comes out like that, that's when I'm like, it comes to the point where it's shot like that. It's just, and then there's complete blurriness. And I don't want to give you something that case of it. That's one thing that I know my hand is not as steady as it used to be, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I can do that in the sense of making sure that the brightness is even out. So like I said, I definitely have that. So you said you've been cosplaying from what you said 4 years, right?
Yeah, around 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years. Was it just and from what she has told me, you said modeling got you into doing cosplay.
Sort of.
Sort of. So what was it?
It was well, I started out. I studied theater, and I studied different. I studied costume design. I studied different mediums, I guess.
Okay.
I studied ceramics. I've studied mixed media. Studied painting. I've studied all different art mediums, and I eventually landed on
cosplay.
After
when was the moment that you were like, you know what, I should just start getting the cosplay sensitive? What was the one moment? Was it when you were reading a manga or an anime, or was it something that you saw like a specific cosplayer or somebody you knew? At some cases, was it that in the sense of it?
I had we went to Motor City Comic Con, I believe it was.
Okay.
That wasn't the first con that I went to, I don't think.
Okay.
My first con was Steel City, I think.
Steel City?
Some
Okay.
years ago. We went to Motor City Comic Con, and I it was the first time I wore Poison Ivy
Okay.
to a con. It was the first time I cosplayed.
In general.
In public.
Yeah.
And so many people just loved it that I was.
You just like.
I didn't expect that, you know. I was just like.
So it just blew up from there.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
So I decided, I'll make more.
Okay. So from what I know, she's done. What we shot today. By this episode coming up, we shot Boa. I forget. I keep forgetting her last name. Sandersonia from One Piece, along with Nico Robin from One Piece, which is my second time for you guys who know that the last person I shot with Nico was Reagan Catherine. Shout out to her and her boyfriend Rogers Bass. And of course what I shot with, and as you can see from the stuff I have here, I shot one of my favorite characters with her, and she was the only person who was willing to shoot Momo Yaoyozuru from My Hero Academia. These are all the stuff of it. Yeah, that's a picture of Janet Cosplay, who I used to like of her stuff, but unfortunately, from what people have told me, they said that she's kind of you pretty much know this. It's a no-no in the rule of cosplay to change your skin tone. It's a no-no.
Oh yeah.
And she's done that, from what I heard. And I loved her Momo.
I've heard a lot of people doing that.
Yeah. I just saw.
I feel like people get mad about it for a minute, and then everyone kind of forgets.
Well, to some extent of it, until the whole Black Lives Matter and the whole situation that recently happened this year, people have been on it again now. I know there was this Italian cosplayer who did an Egyptian version of an Egyptian. I forgot the character's name, but he was from Assassin's Creed, the one that's in Egypt. I know that. He tanned his skin to look like Egyptian, and he's French, and he's really pale, and he tried to justify why he did it, and people were mad about that. And then there was another cosplayer, Are you familiar with Steven Universe?
Mm-hmm.
At least, so you know about the character Garnet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So technically, that character is supposed to be a character of color, even though it's an alien crystal gem. There have been people who've cosplayed her as well, but they've done it to a point where she has a normal skin tone, which is not okay. I mean, it's okay to do Garnet if you want to, but just don't do it to that extent of it. So, but they're going actually like we're going over the Nico Robin shots first because that's what we shot with first, which I'm hoping are turning out okay from what your standards are saying. So that's a good one right there. See, so and then as you can see the reflection of glasses.
I'm glad I got those glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I look better with my face tilted up.
Yep.
Maybe I don't know if that's just my face or if that's a general.
That was one where I had you down in the sense of it, but it's still a good shot. I think it's still a good shot. So, like I like this one too. I like frontal like portrait shots in the sense of it because I made sure I got your glasses as well. So that's a good one too.
One's good.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
I like the side shots.
Yeah. And you look ripped a little bit on that belly.
Oh yeah, I've been working on it.
Okay, that's why I say I'm like you've been working out, obviously. So I'm like,
oh yeah.
So, but one of the things that, like I said, you're different from your costume is different from Reagan's. Is Reagan kind of made hers? I don't know if you made yours, or was it pre-made?
I mean parts of it.
Parts of it, okay. Because like the jacket, different texture than hers. Hers was like a fabric, where yours is like leathery.
That jacket is so sweaty.
Okay, I thought so because I'm like that thing looks like you could
shooting
just
like normally in it, not so much, but wearing it to a con like.
Yeah, it's a little bit more comfortable.
Looks cool,
yeah, these look like good shots also on their own, but again, we're gonna try to incorporate all the other arms of it. So we're doing a concept that with Nico. That you guys will probably know about the fact of her external limbs because of her fruit power sense of it. So we're trying to give her other arms in the sense of it, and we did it by having like 4 different shots of her to pose in it. So yeah. And then there's moves like this, like where the zoom in is hard of it, but then I correct that. That's why I take more than one of the same pose. So because there's always within 5 or 6 of those shots, one of them turns out good, and I gotta make sure it turns out well in that sense of it. The only thing is I noticed like your balance is a little off with the shoes, but it makes sense why you had them. It's just you did better posing wise without the shoes, honestly.
I'm used to being barefoot.
That's why I thought.
I spend most of my time barefoot.
I thought so. That might give me some ideas at least of when we shoot again. When we do that, because I'm not gonna lie, I find women, and this is not sounding creepy, but some women when they wear the heels, I feel a little bad for them, because I mean, especially with the really high heels, whether they the low wedges like the ones you had on with Nico, or the high ones, I just feel bad because it's like you're playing jigsaw with your feet. It's seriously like that. That's what I literally think of it, like, you know.
If you're walking in them, they can hurt.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I get why women like wearing them, think they're look good wearing them, but I just feel like when you wear them, if like my girlfriend was wearing them in some cases, I would just have them take them off and give her a foot massage because I'm just like, you're gonna have a Charlie horse wearing those things a lot. But yeah, look at that calf, girl. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
That's why I wanted to incorporate it because I'm like, if you got that pack tones going on, you might as well just show off the calves. And you were hiding while wearing shoes, so it's not most of the time like though. It's just like it's sometimes when I have the models when they're barefoot, I do it because I want them to just feel that relax in a sense of it. And sometimes when they have really good leg strength muscle, it's an easy way to have them do their calves. I had one model I'm near my school campus. We did this shoot where she's wearing a long black skirt and like this meshy top, and she's just barefoot out in the grass. But there's a couple of shots where she's walking forward and towards me, and her leg is out because one of the skirt has a slit too, and you could just see like straight up ripped on her leg, like her leg was complete steroid, and that's what I was like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted. So your hand movement when you're doing Nico is the only thing that I feel like you have to just learn to do, because Nico's hands, like when she has her hands in that pose of it, when she's using her power, is just like bewitching in a sense of it. That's the only thing. Because at one point you're just having your hands just normal like this, and I'm just like, stretch up your fingers a bit. That's the only thing.
Fingers are tricky.
Yeah, it is. But then again, I feel like to some extent you never got instructed on that sense of it. So I love how this one looks when you're looking down.
That one looks sweet.
It does look. It looks so good. But again, loving like the leg strength and like muscle of it. So
that one's good.
Yeah, that one's a good one too. So we're seeing a couple of good ones in the sense of it. So, so I know there are some cosplayers you probably know about. Is there any particular cosplayer that you look up to out of most of the ones that you and I both follow?
I like seeing instructional like tutorials from Kamui's one that does a lot of good
oh, I know about her
patterns and stuff.
Okay.
Cowbutt Crunchies does the tutorials.
Okay.
Too.
Okay.
So I usually get most of my when I'm stumped. Those are the people that I like to look at for a little boost of creative juices.
Good. You ever thought about doing like a heavy armor costume? Like,
yeah.
Like one of those?
I am actually working on an armored Princess Daisy right now.
Oh, really? Oh my goodness. I think the last creative, and that's honestly like, is it the one that's based on Zach Fisher's stuff? Like the one that Jessica did? Because Zach, I think his name is Zach Fisher. I could be wrong, folks. He is known for doing a lot of battle armor, like mythical versions of characters. And he did a concept where it was Metroid, Daisy, Peach, and Zelda in armor. And they brought them over to BlizzCon, which is, the convention for Blizzard games and such. And they were all in armor. And they looked so bad, so dope. Like, they were armored, but you can tell it was still those characters. So I know that's that one. And then my friend Helen, who has been on the show, my friend Helena Steele, she did a Borderlands version of Peach. Like, with all the scars and the detailed texture, like in the game. Like,
Nice.
One of those. So I'm interested to see how you do with this armor version of Daisy.
Yeah, it's kind of it's my own thing, sort of. I was inspired by my friend in Cleveland who's an artist. His Samo Gallery.
Okay.
His name is Kevin. He had some of his art, and he had some guest artists. And
Okay.
they had a video game theme, sort of, and they had Mario themed paintings and stuff. And we went to this event before the Rona hit. It was Cleveland Gaming Classic.
Okay.
And I kind of hung out with him at his booth. And I did like a super casual Daisy that just like threw together, kind of.
Yeah.
And it gave me, I wanted to do something else to it, and I wanted to kind of upgrade it. So I drew out a plan, and I had drawn out, when, like at the beginning of the lockdown, I was spending a lot of time drawing out little armored Daisy.
Okay.
And, I had sort of gotten, I just wasn't feeling real motivated for a while. And I decided, not that long ago, I'm like, alright, that's it. I was sort of in a state where I was feeling kind of down and like kind of like comparing myself to other people and like wondering like
one of those
oh
low
yeah
self-esteem type of
and
moments.
I'm like that's it, and I was like I went into my little craft room and I just said, and I wasn't, instead of looking at what I had drawn out, I said I'm just gonna start building this and I'm gonna start working on it from my heart, just from my brain, and I'm gonna let it build itself.
Which is what you definitely should do in the beginning of it. You never. The one thing I can't stand is most models and cosplayers that I've worked with, that I'm friends with as well, is when they try to lower their standards to be compared to other people. Like if I had a nickel for every time I had a model come and telling me they want to be on the same standards as Kim Kardashian, I'm like, you would just be. Like seriously, I would be able to pay I would be able to pay more of my other people's bills other than my own. Like seriously, it's that bad of a sense of people don't need to have that same mentality. But at the same time, uh, it's good that you got yourself out of it to a point where you're like, you know what, I need to compare it from myself and do it for me because I want to do this as anything. And while everyone at home probably has not known this, the fact that we had talked, me and Steph had talked about earlier during the shoot about the fact of variety too, which is another thing I wanted to bring up, which is awesome that you had this idea because at the same time, that's a perfect example of what I was talking about because we were talking earlier about, for example, for those out there at home know, I love Harley Quinn. I love Harley Quinn, the character, but if I have to shoot one more person that's wearing the same costume from either Arkham City or Arkham Knight or Birds of Prey, I'm going to lose my shit. I really don't want another Harley Quinn in that sense of it. If you're going to do a Harley costume, try to do one that will be one that no one else can do. Do one that's very individual. And like for Stephanie's case of it, she wants to do a Daisy that's completely not like everyone else's. That's completely what I mean. I've seen so many other versions of Daisies, like Royalette, I think her name is, or Taylor backwards, who I personally have shot with before. She did a swimsuit version of Daisy that no one had done. I've seen Jenna Lynn Maui, as she would like to call herself, who also is a cosplayer, who I shot with, but unfortunately our stuff didn't do so well with it. She also did a costume of Peach, but she did a completely one where it's like a bodysuit gym version of her. So it's similar to like an altered version of the outfit she wears for like Mario Tennis, in a sense of it. It was an altered version of that one. And then like I've even seen someone do a version of Yoshi that I've never seen before. So that's also cool. But again, it's the fact that they made it their own and made it unique and not try to do the same one that everyone else is doing.
Yes.
Because I've seen so many. The only outfit that I will say that, to some extent, and you mentioned this before, and it's the same thing. The bodysuit, the one from the classic series, is the one that mostly everyone does to some extent of it. That's, I guess, is passable. But even that one, to some extent of it, I just wish more people would do a variation. Like if someone did a variation of that one, but it made it different, that's fine too. So that's always the sense of it. So is that Daisy your like big goal, cosplay goal, or is that just like the stepping stone of your future cosplay goal? And and if not, like what's the cosplay that of all cosplay ideas that you would love to do? The one that's like I've reached to the success, like right up there with everyone else with this costume that I made.
Well, Daisy, for now, she's my current, like, I want her to be my current, like, bigger project that I'm working on, so
Okay.
that's just one that I'm taking my time on to really build, like, a big, cool armor set for.
Okay.
The one that my Purple Heart from Hyperdimension Neptunia, she is
Okay.
one, because she has different, sort of phases, or, like, evolutions, and, I wore her to OhioCon in her sort of more, not casual, but, like, she didn't have the armor and the wings and stuff, which I planned on adding later. So once that's all done, that is gonna be like my big like.
Okay, so yeah, that's the one. That's like the major cosplay. Like this cosplay, like the moment I do this one, I know it's gonna be like the biggest thing I've ever done, to the point where I'm gonna get attention to the sense of it, or like I know I can call myself officially a cosplayer with this one. So in some sense,
that's
so
the one I'm super excited about.
That's what I was like. Again, that's why I wanted to ask, because most cosplayers I know, when they reach that one in the sense of it, it's like, okay, that's the one that I know I'm going to be famous for, because the moment I wear it, everyone's going to just be like, oh my god, that I know her because of that costume the most of it. Like Jessica Negri was the Pikachu outfit that she wore, but then she started wearing more armored stuff, and that's how she got popular. Meg Turney, the girl right there in the green, I have a poster of her, by the way, from New York, who's also a popular cosplayer. She did a normal Bulma before she did that one, but she got famous because of it. And the fact that she actually had dyed her hair the same color as Bulma.
I see Bunny Bulma pretty often.
Yeah. But it's rare you do this one, like, in the sense where you go back to that costume when you've done it years ago. So That, like I said, that's why I had to get that from her. That one actually I got from New York Comic Con because I met her and her mom conveniently. So she was like, she was I was so happy to meet her, and I was telling her about like I've been following her for her entire career, and so exciting and such, and finally got to meet her, and her mom was over there just chilling and stuff, and then I got a picture with her, so it was great meeting her, and she's one of the people that, like, from a photographer's point of view, if I ever shoot with her, then I know I'll be successful. The closest I've done, and many of you guys notice at home, is are you familiar with LeVar Burton, right? You know Geordie LaFord, Reading Rainbow. His daughter is a cosplayer and a gamer and such, and she's been at ColossalCon a few times, and I've shot with her. The first time I shot with her, she did a swimsuit version of Cindy from Final Fantasy.
Nice.
So yeah, but
yeah, I know my Purple Heart. Like, people already like it, like the version without everything on it yet.
Yeah.
And like I've already gotten like so much positive energy, and so many people have already told me they love it. So like,
which is I'm guessing why you had photos of the one like I'm pretty sure that it's the one here, right? Is that it?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
It's a super casual dressed down version, but people still love it. People still really love Purple Heart.
Yeah, technically this is lewd, you know that, right? That's what I said, because you're wearing barely anything bottom wise, so, but that's still...
I'm fine with lewd so long as my stuff don't get flagged.
No, that's fine. But at the same time, of course that's why everyone likes it. But more of appropriate costume you're still going to do. That's the difference of it. My thing...
Well, before that I had posted the more complete version.
Yeah. The one thing that I've told her is we both don't mind lewdness and cosplay and sense of it. Nothing's wrong with that. Everybody's gonna have that little dirty thought of it where their favorite character looks sexy in a sense. It's okay for that. It's not okay when you say you're just like a legit cosplayer, but that's all you shoot is that, because you're making it look bad for everybody else.
Or when you can't tell who the character is.
Or you can't, yeah, exactly that. You just do a cosplay of somebody and no one knows who the hell you are, of that sense of it. Not cosplay, but just a lewd version of it, and no one knows who the hell you are. So like
a vaguely colored wig with some vaguely colored bikini.
Exactly. That's the one that's the thing I can't stand. Like, I shot with Danielle Bedelow at ColossalCon, and she did a black cat. And it was just nothing different than a 2 swimsuit, a bikini, a mask, and a wig. But I knew who she was because Black Cat's famous in the Marvel comic books and such. So I know who she was. And then, like, there was another person I shot with. Actually, I went to Cleveland. My friend Kat, she dressed as 002 from Darling in the Franxx. You know, the girl with the pink hair and the horns. I bought a whole outfit for her to shoot. She had the pink wig already, but I just bought her the horns and the swimsuit and a regular bodysuit, and we did a shoot with that. And you can still tell who she is from there. So it's like you have to make sure at least that you're doing someone that everyone knows, not just
or else it ceases to be cosplay at that point.
Exactly. And there have been a few people who have come to ColossalCon that thinking they can just drop a wig and be like, oh, I'm a cosplayer, and they're wearing their regular bathing suit, and it's just ridiculous with that. So, okay, now we're getting onto Boa.
Yeah, I was going to wear Boa to ColossalCon, and
until
2020 happened.
Yeah.
I'm still going to wear the next time it happens.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Oh, I absolutely plan on that.
So it's like, I will say, with shooting with Stephanie tonight, she has somewhat experience, and she's learning to adapt well. It's just, you get super nervous.
I'm a jittery person.
You are. Jittery is just not...
Jittery is my default.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, because when I'm shooting with her, the one thing that I want to take away from you guys is the fact that even though she's done modeling before, but this is one of the few times she's done a cosplay photo shoot professionally. And while she, of course, enjoyed the experience, it was moments where she was, grinning nervously. And many of you who've shot with me before know I like to crack a few jokes in the middle of our sessions to try to get that. So it was more to the point I was very much getting her gullible to the point of shooting about it. But what else was it that I did that I wanted you to let people at home or who are listening now know that made it easy for you to be comfortable with shooting with me once you were nervous in that sense of it? Was it just the jokes, or was it anything else like the complimenting, sandwiching and such?
Well, you give me specific directions, which I like that because I know I can't see myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you're, because a lot of photographers will just be like, all right, pose how you're gonna pose, like, and then I think it looks good, and then I just look at the pictures, I'm like, oh shit. So I like that you at least, like, you definitely give me specific directions, and I do not mind that.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah, I will tell you guys that that's the one thing she's not lying about. I have a tendency to be very, very literal in my posing, which is so literal I sometimes confuse my left from my right, which happened a few times in our shoot. But I should have taught you about the mirror game, which is something I learned from photographer Michael Sasser. Shout outs to Michael Sasser at Boudoir, which is the mirror game where you just do the opposite of what I'm doing, but you do the same thing that I'm technically doing, but you do the opposite of it from a different side of it. So once you know how to do that, then I'm supposed to teach you posing wise and that. And we kept getting our left and right mixed up, which is a common thing that's happened for me. Again, it happens, but it's been a common thing that happened with me most of the time of it. So our shoot was no exception to that. For your boa costume, did you make that completely?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So yeah, so I know you said pieces what you did for Nico, boa you made.
This I made completely.
Yeah, and Momo you created too.
Yes.
And that's again, you guys, when you guys see the Momo shots that we've shot tonight, I don't think you've ever done anything like that, have you? With the stuff that we did outside of the uniform that you made, have you? Because again, there were some moments you were confused. But once we got to the bed, you started being more like, okay, I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah. I like all the different versions of her.
Exactly.
Regular Momo, casual Momo, boudoir Momo.
Mm-hmm. Which you guys will see once the photos are out. You will be seeing those. And this will not be the first time that I will be shooting this stuff with Steph. Because if anything, I have a few more. Hopefully by the time we shoot again, the weather will be a little bit more warmer, because I definitely want to shoot that. I definitely want to get Momo in swimsuit. That's definitely on that agenda. So you working out is a plus on that sense of it. Because I want to get you either before Colossal or during Colossal. That is on the sense of it. If I have to help you guys. At the same time, there's a couple other stuff that we do with Momo that I definitely want to get to. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. The tongue shots of it. So, did you make the tongue, by the way?
Yes, I
okay.
did.
So, with the costume for Boa, she sort of made the tongue, which looks kind of hilarious in some angles, but at the same time, we're definitely going to try to do a couple of shots with her real tongue, some edits on that sense of it.
That's more of a joke tongue.
Yeah, because I'm like, yeah,
very exaggerated tongue.
Exactly. So, but still, at the same time, I definitely want to get a couple of shots, and then I do want to get a couple of just shots with just you in the boa outfit. So, but like the tracking on there, you see how your wig and that sense of it. Like I said, that's fine. It was way worse than I've seen of the other people. So, if anything, but girl, you were just shredded. I swear. Like I can see your tone of your stomach.
Thank you. I
like seriously.
On it. I definitely.
Yeah, like I'm at one point I'm trying to lose weight too, so I'm a little bit envious. But you're like the one person that I've like seen, like you, other than one other person that I've shot with, Emily. Shout outs to Emily, who is like shredded a little bit, and she's natural. She just doesn't work out or do anything. She just naturally has a tone. Where you, like you said, you work out, so it shows.
Yeah, I'm not a big girl. I'm like, I've always been kind of bony, I guess. And I got picked on about my weight.
That's what I was going to ask you next.
Life.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Was that always like a little situation that kind of dampened you when it came to you, when you were saying earlier about your self-esteem of comparing yourself with other models? Was that always part of that hindrance of, you know, I'm skinnier than the other girls, I don't have a figure much of it because...
Yeah, I've always kind of, well, I mean, in a way it's kind of good because it got me to start working out. And one of the reasons, not the only reason, that I want to be healthy too.
No.
I started lifting weights more seriously, and I'm back up to my track and field weight that
Oh.
I was in high school, which was actually the heaviest I've ever been.
Okay, so you did track and field then.
Yeah. But yeah, it's rough because people don't.
Of course, and at the same time, I tell people, most people before, I'm like, I understand this whole thing like Lizzo and Megan Trainor do, like, you know, big is beautiful. I'm all okay with that, and that's all you in a sense of it. But at the same time, they're not the only ones that are victims of the situation. It's just they've been victims a little bit longer, but at the same time, there have been mostly people who have been like your body weight that has dealt with that situation, and that's what I hate the most. Is I'm like, it's always one-sided on that sense of it. But I've seen so much outside of like body shaming, but at the same time, you know, like gender shaming and racial stuff and prejudice in the sense of it. Like I said, like there have been so many people that I know of who in the body situation. That's what got me also into doing photography to most women. That's why I don't. Again, I have nothing against professional models who've been doing it for years, but most of the ones those people that I shot with are ones who are not much experience, who are not, you know, are lucky like you when it came to like shaping yourself and your figure. Sometimes one of those few women who are a little bit out of shape, but still have something of a good body, I still feel should definitely deserve to have their modeling physique to be talent sense of it. There's this girl last night that I was just talking to who I've shot with her and a friend of hers from California. Her name is Cheyenne, and she's so doubtful of her stuff because she thinks she's fat. And if I showed you a photo of her, you would swear that girl was not fat. But she's been picked on all her life as well because of the fact that she was bigger than she used to be. But she's lost a lot of weight, but she's still a little bit curvy into some points of it. But she's not fat, really. It's just a little bit of like baby weight. That's literally what she has. But she's still doubtful of herself on that.
That sticks with you a lot.
Exactly.
It can kind of stay in your head and mess with you.
So, by the way, these creases on the backdrop I can definitely edit out. So don't think that it's just going to look that messy with some of the shots.
I get that. I got you.
Yeah, but I made sure I got some normal ones with her, with well, in the sense of it that you can use in case of it. So, but I definitely do.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Good. Good. I think we did good with the lighting on that one too. I was, like I said, it's hard to try to make sure. That's why hopefully I'm glad you weren't on the backdrop, because if it were, that black line where the green is would not just be visible. So it's really hard sometimes to shoot with a gray backdrop, and I'm using just a limited lighting in some cases. So that's what we ended up doing. But like with some of the stuff that we did with her boa is just really good. Like the green hair pops out completely. So imagine like if you were shooting earlier with me before the place was renovated and you had to deal with that olive green backdrop. It would look just so weird.
Olive green.
Yeah, it was olive. Yeah, it was olive green, like really olive green. Like I've only shot one model with that green, my friend Lorraine, and fortunately that was the only shot that I've ever done with her. So I'm like, but it was so weird seeing that green. But the moment that he repainted the place, he had Charles repaint the place. It looks so different. It's just now I just have to get used to the fact that he installed a new like that light. The main bathroom light was never there, and so he had that installed, and it shorts out the fuse. So I have to try to switch box and hit it every time. Otherwise, it just keeps doing that. So then I like this one too, like the close up on that one, if anything. So. And now we finally get to Momo. So, like I said, what we'll have to do. What happened was with her Momo is she forgot a piece of her costume.
No,
so
it's always one thing.
Yeah, well, like I said, we can try doing some Photoshop editing of that sense of. If that doesn't work in the sense of that, you can always come back and bring other part of the costume, and we can try again. Because, like I said, we have plenty to go off of aside from Momo. You have Boa and Nico to fall back on.
Oh, yeah.
So if this...
I'm glad I got this.
Yes, I said. That's why I'm like, no, we can do more than one. Because you seem a little hesitant at the fact that when you asked that, because I'm like, I'm down for with all the other ones, because Momo is the bonus for me, whereas in Nico and Boa is for you, what you wanted in the first place of it. So, but yeah, we're gonna have to do a little bit of tinkering with her costume because part of her costume she missed.
It's not one thing, it's another. I forget.
But yeah, again, you don't get a lot of people asking to shoot with your costume, so it makes kind of sense on that.
No one's asked to shoot with Momo yet. You're the first one.
The first one, and I guarantee you I won't be the last. But at the same time, I don't mind being the only one who shoots.
Well, I
with
didn't
her
put up a lot of pictures of Momo.
Yeah,
so
that's why I said.
It, but you found the ones I put up.
Yeah,
so.
I have them saved on my phone, girl. Like if I didn't use my friend who sent me the picture for my lock screen, your Momo would have literally been my lock screen. I literally have it.
Oh, one of these can be your lock screen.
Well, that's why I wanted to shoot with you. That's the whole point of it. Because I'm like, I get more Momo. One of your I'm getting one for my lock screen, one for the desktop, and then once I put it, it's going to go up there with the mural of all my other shots. You don't know how bad I can't wait to put a print for one of your shots of Momo, because, like I said, I saw the stuff that you have on your print shop, which, by the way, all that stuff of it. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't wait till she posts one of the Momos that you're comfortable using for a print, because the moment that happens, it's going to be game over.
Oh, we'll get something. Get something print with.
Yeah, because like I said, I'm definitely printing off one of these shots, because these are good, people. Like, despite the fact that a miscalculation of the costume, and you did a pretty good job for someone who made that whole thing. Honestly, it's just, I guess, was the middle the part of it, was it like a slip-on button, or was it like a clip-on? What was it that kept moving to open up? Okay.
It was sort of if I wear it to a con, I would have it all taped.
Okay. Okay. Have you worn it to a con?
I did wear it to Matsuri-con in Columbus.
And nobody got your photo.
My friend did get my photo, but I thought I looked crazy, so I deleted it.
Okay.
Not his fault, of course.
Okay. Because I'm like, no one took a photo of your Momo there? What the hell?
They did. I just didn't.
You just didn't feel
I wasn't feeling any of them.
Okay.
Nothing against any of them, because I tend to get in my own head a lot.
Okay.
And there was not a lot. Like my one friend that did. Logan the blacksmith, shout out to him. He's a awesome photographer, and he did some good Momo shots. And
you haven't posted those either.
I did, but I don't know if they're still up. Honestly, it was because I was not feeling me.
Okay, well.
In the photos.
Well, I want to see those, because I'm like, if I'm not the only person that's shot with Momo, other than.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah, like I said, I want to see those, but at the same time, I still want to make sure my shots are superior to some extent. I want to also try something with your hair, because the back of it, to some point of it, I want to see if I can try to spike it up a little bit with your hair, so that way it gives that look similar to how her is. Because again, I know what you have to work with in the wig, but I want to try to see if I can. Emulate something a little closer in that sense of it.
I actually have I was actually planning on that.
Okay.
I have if it's not that wig, it will be another one.
Okay.
Whichever one I end up.
Well.
So I'm a wig freak, and I have a million of them, and I'm always buying them. But I did have a plan to do the tacky glue method.
Okay.
Like the wig up in the back, and have it like permanently like that.
Yep, you can when you try that, let me know. Like I said, we can always
I'll absolutely be updating you on my progress.
Yes, like I said, you have all my contact, and including that. Make sure you kept the card with my number, by the way, because like I said, I'm putting your number down of it. Because if anything, text me and sense of it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I do text somewhat a lot. So if it's any case of it, if you don't text a lot, just at least let me know. That's sensitive, but I do text a lot sometimes. If I'm going through my stuff and I see one of our shots and I'm just complimenting about how good you look of it, that tends to happen.
Oh, it's all good. If I'm not,
but again,
like I said, same thing with Twitter. Like if I'm not answering a whole lot, it's never anything personal. It's just because I'm not looking at it.
Yeah, because again,
like that.
Like I said, like if now that I have a more proper shot of you. I'm just more in the sense of it because see, I literally have you on my phone. Like I'm just waiting for the. Like I said, I was waiting for the moment of when I can just um, put you on there because I have you for Momo, but at the same time, I have a couple of other shots that you've done, like that one.
Oh,
This is why I
the
know
Orange
you were.
Lantern shirt.
Yeah, this is why I knew you were good for the boudoir. Because if you were good to do this, even though I don't know if that's your real pink hair, but
It was at that time.
oh man, this is one of my favorites. Also, like that's one of my favorites.
I
But,
forgot about the little selfies, the little
Yeah.
Momo selfies.
yeah, these were like I like these.
I
of the
always
Momo
forget about those.
Yeah, that's what I said. I paid attention. That's what made me want to do the boudoir momos. I'm like, if she can look good in that shots of those selfies, then imagine what else you can do. That's why I'm like, yes, I definitely want to make sure of it. So, but yeah, this will be replaced eventually. Once we get to the editing on these shots, that will definitely happen. So,
That's a good one.
yeah, that's a good one too. So, um, at the same time, I'm like, out of all the characters that you've done in cosplay, which is the best one?
Same with the best as in just my personal
Your personal favorite, yeah,
or
yep.
best constructed.
Well, your personal favorite. Let's go with that
Um,
because I think, like I say, I know all of them you like, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure there's one in particular. Like if you put it on, if you wore it, if nobody would judge you, you would probably wear that cosplay all the time. I'm pretty sure. So
I would lean towards either Purple Heart or my bathing suit Miss Joke that I also made for Colossal Con.
oh, really? You did a misjook?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Did you post anything from that one too?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I said. I'm gonna have to go to your. Again, I keep forgetting whether or not you posted either on your backup Instagram or on your main one.
Usually it's on my main one, but I will post on my backup
Okay.
occasionally. And if it's something I'm kind of like afraid to post on my main one, I'll put it on the backup.
Okay. And here's what I was telling you, my good stuff of it, and it tells you you're more than just a toned skinny girl, because most skinny girls don't have this. That's what told me why you have a figure, because most skinny girls don't have even this. And I've known some that don't. I'm like, okay, they look good in the front, but then they don't have anything in the back. Even if you don't have anything top up, you have something on the back, woman. So don't be
That's
sure.
important.
Exactly. That's usually my go-to, but I tell people in advance beforehand. I'm like, because just hear me out on this theory. Most of the time, what is the one thing about the body that most women will compliment other women on? It's mostly the butt.
I would say it's the butt.
Exactly.
At least in my experience. It's definitely the butt.
Exactly. Your experience. That says it right there. Most girls will compliment other girls in the butt. So it's a safe area compared to your nude parts of it. Most women I've known, from my experience, have always been more complimented of another girl's butt. And so that's why I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, then it's safe to shoot a woman's butt so that other women will compliment other women's butts. That's why I'm like,
I didn't think of it that way, but that's
yeah,
true.
that's why I'm like, I don't care if you're flat chested on the top area of it. You ain't got no cleavage. As long as you know you have a good backside, that you're proud of that sense of it, that's all that matters. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie and tell you in the sense of I'm not gonna shoot that. I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna shoot that, but at the same time, I'm gonna make it look good and look professional in the sense of it. But I'm just letting you know that whether you want me to shoot it or not is up to you. And I've had a few who are like, I don't feel comfortable that, only because of, and mostly it's because of the fact of the underwear they're wearing. They don't want, like one girl, a girl named Lizzie, really a gorgeous girl. She really looked sexy when we did some boudoir shots where she's wearing an overlarge sweater. At one point, I was saying, would you be comfortable in a butt shot that I pose in the sense of it? And she's like, I would, but I don't right now because I'm wearing a thong. And that's completely fine. Like, if you don't feel comfortable with the butt shot of it, that's fine. But at some point of it, and then I had another model, a girl named Rachel, who I shot with, and she did a really sexy sweater shoot, but I just didn't even ask her because she's like, I just want to shoot stuff that's at least decent for me to post. And I'm like, okay. And that's what we did. But I said, you know what, we can, but my usual slick, not slick, but more of a side situation is the hip. Because you already have a preview of what the butt's going to look like from the hip. That's why with some of the shots that we did when you're just showing your hip on the sense of it. Sometimes the butt ain't necessary, but in this case for Momo, I need some Momo butt.
Momo butt.
Yeah.
Important.
So yeah, it's a case of it. I like to a point that I've given a few nicknames to some of my friends who are modeling who have good butts. Like my friend Morgan Lease, I called her Spooky Booty because because she's a goth style, like Wednesday Addams, Morticia stuff like that. She does a lot of Halloween related shoots and stuff like that, and horror related stuff. So I called her Spooky Booty. And she loves the name ever since I told it to her. Because I'm like, it's the truth. I'm like, you're like Wednesday Addams. Like if she was like, you're more like a sexy Wednesday Addams than the cosplayers who do lewd Wednesday Addams shoots. And I've known a few women who have done like sexy lewd cosplay shots of Wednesday Addams. Like so many.
I've seen a few.
So yeah. Now, I told you before, the borders here will probably cut out, so you don't have to worry about that. So, but yeah, I love how even, like, from that angle of everything is. So, but that's, like I said, in some cases, the only thing, like, the hair band on the side of it is just the only thing that was just a constant situation with your hair, with your wig. That's the only thing we had to that's why I like most of the posing.
Has a piece of hair in her face, though.
Yeah,
so I left it.
Yeah, which is fine. It's just I had to just remind. That's why I ended up to some of the shots later down the line had to brighten up your face because your eye is hidden within that shot of it. So, see, this shot would have been good, but your nervous smile came through because my friend Shelby, she does this thing where when she's nervous, she does like this mean mugging type of look like this. She does that when she shoots. I said, "Are you mean mugging me?" She's like, "Am I making a face?" She's like, "I'm really nervous." I said, "When you're nervous, you like mean mug, like
yeah, you don't
very
think about
hard."
it. It's like subconscious.
Exactly. I'm thinking I did something wrong when you did that. And she's like, "No, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just I'm really nervous." And I'm like, "Well, you got to learn how to don't mean mug." So, and like this shot would have been fine, but if you look closely, your skin on your leg area is dark. That's what I had to change the alternative of it. Like this crop shot,
that's good.
This is great. This is a good one. And hopefully I'll do a couple of edits where like stuff is coming out of your arms. But at the same time, like the legs is the only thing I just feel bad for. Also, like there are a couple of shots where the border of like the lights fixtures are in the shots. Those will be edited out. So you have nothing to worry about that either. Because that's one thing I can definitely edit out to some extent of it. So yeah, most of these, like with the ones with your legs being dark, might have to crop because of the fact of how dark they are. Because with some of the other shots, they look good. It's just that those boots, though, those are really accurate to hers, like on par. So like, were they pre-made like that or?
I painted them.
Okay, so you painted them.
They were black and I painted them.
Okay, so yeah, you did. That's really good. Those are that you painted because they look exactly like the ones she would wear in the costume. So, that hand's a little bit blurry, but I think I can. Yeah, I can find another one in the sense of it. So, but see, you also gritted your teeth just a little bit in those shots too. But again, you're nervous. Now you see what I was trying to do with this shot though.
Yeah.
Because I love facial portraits like this, but at the same time, like. You had your head slanted just a little bit because I could see your cheekbone from here where I want the cheekbones to be hidden when we look straight ahead. And then you corrected it. See that?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's definitely a good one. Like I said, what I want to do to some extent of it, I do want to just alter a little bit of your hair to some extent of it. But at the same time, these are good as they are too. Like that's a good shot. See what I did there in the sense of it? That one's actually even better. But you focus on your face, eyes are hue. I forgot the name of the movie, but there was this movie from Disney, and this actress is literally looking on stage, and she's like literally just like her face is literally like that same expression while she's moving her hair. And it's a famous actress. I forgot her name. She was on a Disney show, and it got memed a lot too. I think it was called Jessie or something like that, the actress who was on that show. But ever since I saw that shot, that's what I want to do with everybody who I shot with. This shot is similar in that sense of it. But Momo makes it very easy. Yeah, this is when you start going a little bit lewd on that sense of it with that. I'll still put a little bit of her waistband around her on these shots too to see how that looks. But at the same time, just this alone still works. So, but you were like facial wise, like this. You see how your eyes are? That's what I was saying. That's good. But whereas in you have your eyes widen out.
It's my eyes tend to go wide by default, and I have to remind myself to squint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like. But I wanted to show a little bit of expression with her lip Momo in the sense of it with your curly lip. But yeah, like the moment you were doing this brought me back to that picture of you in the Orange Lantern shirt. So I'm surprised that was an Orange Lantern shirt. So you know about the lanterns.
I do.
Do you have a ring with that shirt?
I don't have the ring.
You don't have a ring? I have a ring. I have a Red Lantern shirt.
I have a Green Lantern ring somewhere.
Okay, yeah. My brother.
I need an orange. I have an orange ring though.
I have to buy one for you.
I need an orange one.
I'm gonna buy one for you because I know where to get them. Really, I have a red one, which I might want to show you later. It's a red one. I have like 2 or 3 of red ones, but I also have a red shirt. I need to get a Red Lantern shirt. My brother has a green one. One of my friends has a blue one. One of my roommates from Colossicon, my boy Robert, he has a yellow one, like Sinestro. So, yeah, like, is there any particular reason why you like Orange Lantern?
Greed.
Because it's greed. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I have a history of temper from my father's side, so rage kind of fits with me. That's why I chose rage. I just don't bleed out the mouth. That's the only thing I don't do. There's no blood coming out my mouth like that. So it's kind of funny that you know that, because I'm like, does she pick orange because it's a nice color? Please don't say that shit's because it's a nice color. No.
Orange actually is funny because orange is one of the colors I'm usually afraid of. It's a tough color to pull off.
Oh, okay.
Especially if you've got I got a pale skin tone, so I've usually been straight away from orange.
Mm-hmm. Well, but then again, you wore neon yellow with that raid outfit, so it's not like you can't pull it off. So, but yeah, like shots like these, like you did really good in, if anything, in that sense of it. So, like, what was okay? I guess I have to ask you this because I asked most of the models this. What was the weirdest experience in a photo shoot for you? Out of your modeling, whether it's your modeling or cosplay, what was the weirdest experience in a photo shoot for you?
Weirdest experience? Oh god, there's probably been a few. There's definitely I used to do regular modeling. I guess I had this kind of for some reason I was shooting with this guy it was at a bar. It was on these steps, like in the back, sort of. And it was during the day, so there was no one really there. Okay. And I don't know why we walked out toward the main bar area, but the bartender lady was like, "We're gonna have customers in here, so she can't wear that up here." I'm like, "Excuse me, you can talk to me. I'm right here."
And what were you wearing that made her say that?
I think it was like a short. It was like a rave outfit, but a skimpy rave type outfit. It had a short skirt and like a bikini, like a swimsuit. It was about the same as like a swimsuit on the beach. Okay. But it was the fact that she. I'm talking about me in third person, like I'm not standing right there.
So the awkward part was that the woman who was working at the bar was just complaining about you doing a shoot there. Right.
Okay. She could have done it to me.
But she just...
like, she was trying to talk to me like I wasn't standing right there.
That's just...
And that is one thing that drives me nuts.
Okay.
More than most things.
Oh, no. I off record, I have to tell you about the story from Arizona, because I know I've told about it online to you guys many times, but it's an Arizona story. I'll tell it to you later offline. But I'm trying to think of another moment where I've had a... Well, actually... it was a shoot where I was in Arizona. I lived out in Arizona for a couple of months, and I was doing shoots out there, and I had a model named Betty who she had like yellow and black streaks in her hair. She was gorgeous. She just lost a lot of weight though, so she was a little bit insecure about her belly area. So I said, just wear long shirts and bodysuits and we'll be fine. And at one point we did the shoot where she's doing boudoir in our house, in our apartment. And our apartment just barely even furnished. We don't even have anything in there yet. So there's plenty of room. Hardwood floors look beautiful on the walls. I should have one of the shots still actually up on my Facebook page and such. But she is wearing this sexy Batman shirt. It's gray, black. It matches with her hair in a sense fit. She's wearing long stockings and underwear. And at one point, she tells me, I can't pay you money, but I will pay you in pop brownies. And so I said, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine.
I was gonna say you could take them.
I'm not gonna say no to weed. I'm not, because I smoke a little bit. I don't know if you do, but
I do a little bit. I
Yeah.
used to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I used to take it as payment too for things.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I smoked more.
Yeah, but it was the first time that I'd taken it as a commission, which I would not recommend anybody to do professionally. I did it because I was just in a comfort with her anyways. But yeah, she did. But it was also crazy because of the fact that I ate one and I am tripping throughout the entire rest of the shoot. Because it wasn't even the end of the shoot. I'm outside. I'm talking to her about random stuff. And then the next day she tells me, do you remember anything you said to me during the shoot? I said, not really. Did I offend you or anything? She's like, no. She's like, you were very entertaining, like a cartoon character. She's like, it's one of the most bizarre shoots I've ever done with anyone. She's like, no one did. And she's like, but she said, but the only reason why I'm okay with it is because it was my fault. I think I made the brownies too potent.
Oh.
I said, why is that? She's like, well, I think I miscounted how much oil I was supposed to put in the oil.
Oh man.
And then, so
did you eat a whole one?
I ate one, like, because it was my first time having an edible.
Oh, so you didn't know how much to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you're just like, I don't feel high yet. You know,
Yeah.
you just keep eating and eating and eating, not knowing if the edibles creep up on you.
Yeah, I didn't know. And I just ate the whole brownie and like,
Oh no.
I am tripping. She's like, I think I made the oil too potent. And I was like, that's what happened. And there's the worst part. I still had more brownies. My mom ate one. And she doesn't like smoking. She tries to use weed because she has high anxiety like myself, because we both have anxiety, heavy in it.
I do too.
And we take it for that. And she, it doesn't work for her when she tries to smoke a blunt or a bong. It just, for some reason, or a pipe, it just doesn't work for her. But at one point, she ate a brownie. And then the next thing you know, I left for a moment to go get something in the car in the parking lot at the apartment we were staying at. I come back within like a few minutes later. The brownies are gone.
Oh.
And my mother ate them all.
Oh my god.
I said, why did you eat them all? She's like, well, I was hungry because I was high. And the next thing you know, she's telling me, can you just sit here and talk with me because I think the floor is crying. I'm like, are you serious right now? And then I call my brother to tell him, hey, he's like, are you okay? He's like, is she okay? My mom's talking to him, and I'm like, I'm like, mom, I'm like, brother, my mom's high. He's like, are you serious? I said, yes. And he just starts cackling over the phone. He's like, how did this happen? I said, it took a pop brownie for her to finally get high. And she's just like, just stay with me. The floor is just crying, and I feel bad for it. It was so hilarious because when she's trying to smoke regularly, it just doesn't have an effect. She's just like, I'm just coughing a lot, and my throat hurts.
Wow.
But when she ate a pop brownie, she ate another. She's like, I was hungry, and I just wanted to eat another. And I ate another brownie, and I got hungry again, and I ate another brownie, and I got hungry again. And I'm like,
at least they worked for her.
I told her. So I told the model, and she's like, she ate the whole batch. I said, the whole batch. And she's like,
wow.
She's
How long was she?
Like the whole day.
So she was tripping for a whole day.
Yeah, she was tripping the whole day. Like that whole time of it, I had to stay with her. Like I had to cancel plans because it was just like, how did you why would you eat that? Like there's plenty of other food in the house, in the apartment. You didn't have to eat just that. She's like,
but did she know they were pot brownies when she got to them?
Yeah, she knew it was because she's like, I want to try one because she's like, because I don't know if if smoking it isn't going to work for me, then maybe eating one of these will. But she didn't know how potent they were either. So I was just like, I told her, I'm like, you can't eat brownies, pounds anymore. I'm like, if so, we have to mediate. So yeah, because recently for Christmas, my cousin came to town, and she offered me an edible in a gummy, and I told my mom, we're eating half because it was a higher number on the gummies, and she gave me a whole one. I ate that one fine. I was okay, but with her, my mom, I was like, you're getting half because I know the moment you eat this whole thing, you're gonna be tripping. And instead, my cousin who came to town with the weed gummies, we're watching A Christmas Story, and it's to the point where I don't know if you're familiar with the movie.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah, I watch it every year, and it's the scene where Ralphie gets the Red Ryder BB gun and he opens the package, and she just starts bawling loudly. She's like, oh, and I'm just like, are you okay? She's like, I'm just so happy he got what is good. I'm like, are you serious? You're laughing at this movie? I said, I've never heard of anyone just crying so much in the movie. She's like, yeah, I'm just so happy he got what he wanted. And me and my mother are cracking up just her doing that. And then the whole time, she's just like this the whole time. Even when we end up watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And she's just cracking up that same way, too.
No.
Like, there's the scene where Clark Griswold is in the attic, stuck in the attic, and he's watching the old roulette films. She's doing the same thing there, too. She's like, oh, it's just so memories. And I'm just like, okay, you're going to have to calm down.
Oh, my God.
But it's so hilarious. Because I'm just like, what are you doing? You're not laughing over that movie. I've seen it so many times that I still enjoy the movie.
But you don't, like, laugh super hard at
But
it.
I don't laugh, right? Yeah, I don't laugh super hard like that. But I've never seen anyone react that fast. So it's just hilarious. Another question I have for you is, how did you come up with your name? Because I know Stephanie Pixxii is not your real name. Stephanie is probably your real name, but Pixxii isn't your last name. Was there a particular reason why you just picked Pixxii, or was just how short you were, or some reason, other reasons?
It sort of formed itself, I guess. Because I had Steph, and I had Stephanie, and I had Steph. And, like, I had originally had my handle is, like, Stephanie's Pics, like, pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And then it morphed into Steph Pixxii.
Pixxii.
Because I wanted it to be, like, just, like, a name, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Because I'm like, I know some people they pick because of certain things, like, Bendo Geek is the fact that she was, there was a reason for hers, for some reason, I forgot what it was. I know, I had a friend of mine who had, Cat, Alley Cat, because, you know, like, at one point she was, she used to, take in alley cats when she was younger, in some cases. So it's like, there's particular reasons for that, in a sense of it. So, I do have to ask you this, since you're the only cosplayer that's been on this show, other than my friend Helena. I gotta ask you, what are you currently watching in anime?
I'm catching up on One Piece. I've been reading from manga from the beginning.
You got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, I've been reading My Hero, like the recent ones a little bit, and the manga. You asked me what I was watching though.
Yeah.
I'm getting off track.
It's okay. You're telling more than you are. Like
I was watching Warren Logan for a little bit.
Oh, really? Okay. I actually have the flag, and I'm almost done. I'm trying to get all the cast of the crew to sign it. I have Kamina's signature. I have Simon's signature. I have Risu's signature. I need to get everyone else's, including like Yoko's and everyone else's still. So, like, yeah, I've gone to enough conventions to get almost everybody. I was close. Well, actually, I don't have Kamina's. Well, no, I do have Kamina's. I don't have Simon's. I have Kamina's and Risu's, but I was close to getting Simon, because Yuri Lowenthal, who plays the voice of Simon, I believe, was at Youmacon, which I was at for the first time last year, and I was trying to get that signed by him along with my copy of Spider-Man for the PlayStation. But unfortunately, at the time I was doing, the line was ridiculously huge. So I was just like, no way, no way. So I've known you. You said you've gone to Colossal a few times. Have you? Right? Have you? Has there been like a particular voice actor or guest that you've gone there to that's like your dream goal, or is there a particular certain person that you've wanted to meet in the sense of it for any?
Colossal, I go just
well,
party.
well, yeah,
Do photo shoots.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean that's fine. That's fine. I just figured if you have you gone to meet any guests or anybody in the sense of it, that case of it.
But if you go, I met most of the Gotham people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they're all super cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I met most of the Walking Dead cast.
Okay. Yeah. I've met a few voice actors around the sense of it. I think the last person that I met celebrity wise was there's a show called Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And
I watched that.
Okay, are you familiar with the Ghost Rider on that show? The actor who plays him? I met him. He actually was a fan of mine, and I didn't even know. And I met him at New York Comic Con because I was with a friend of mine. When I was with one of my friends who actually is from New York. I wasn't with my roommates because I told her my experience with my roommates at New York Comic Con, which is for another time. But yeah, that was the group that I was with. But who was at the hotel with me? I was with another group. This girl named Nami and her daughter Sakura. And she got famous because her daughter likes to dress up as Marvel characters. And everyone from the Marvel Studios apparently knows her to get a signature, get a photo with her, it's fine, don't worry, it's on us. She's done variations of Daredevil and Deadpool and stuff like that. And she's adorable. She's super adorable. And the year I went, she was dressed as another version of Deadpool. Of Daredevil. And some of the cast of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was there, along with the guy who played Ghost Rider. And he's just about to leave, and I come up to him and I say hi to him, just complimenting him, and he tells me you want to take my picture? And he's like, I saw you. He was like, he saw my photography. I'm like, oh, hell yes, I want to get a picture of Ghost Rider. I'm mad they didn't make a show with him. I'm just mad about that. But it was an awesome experience to meet him. Nami still talks to him time to time because I guess he resides in New York in some cases, so it's kind of cool that they still talk to him. But yeah, New York was, again, the con was experience in that sense of it. Just everything outside of that was suck. But no, most now at Colossicon, I go specifically the same reason as you, to get drunk or get high, take pictures of girls in cosplay, and just hang out with friends.
Network, meet new people, and I love meeting other cosplayers and photographers, and I love meeting. I have all these friends from out of state now, more than I ever have before I started cosplaying, because I meet so many people from all over.
Nice.
So that's another thing I love about.
Yeah, just for those out there at home, just knowing, it's not always about just meeting some of the celebrities at these cons. Sometimes, if you go to a con more than once, for me, in the sense of it, like Steph said, in the sense of it, it's mostly for most of the friends that you meet there, because most cases, if I hadn't gotten to the photography, I wouldn't have gotten to be friends with most of the cosplayers in the community, because it was nervous enough to get a picture with them, let alone talk to them about how awesome their costumes are. Look at that. I love that movie.
That one's a good one.
That's a good one too. Your makeup worked well with this one more than the other two. Boa and Nico are not bad, but you honestly did so much well of it. And that birthmark sticks out so much. It looks like a cookie.
Yeah, I think it looks like meatwad.
Oh. I didn't notice that till you said it now. I'm now reciting in my head Meatwad's verse and stuff in that sense. It does look like Meatwad a little bit too, but yeah, it looks more like a cookie. Cause see, honestly, that's what I thought would have been a good idea for a name if you didn't stick with Stephanie Pixii, Stephanie Cookie, or Steph Cookie, something like that. But still, it's adorable. At least your birthmark is adorable. My birthmark sucks. I have one under my arm, and it just looks like just a blotch. Seriously, a blotch of dead skin. I've never seen anyone with a cookie or a meatwad style birthmark. Was it a hindrance at first when you like dealt with it growing up, or was it just like, oh yeah, it's just whatever?
Yeah, I never really. It's never really been a hindrance. I just like if I feel like editing it out, I do. If I didn't bring my Dermablend, so I forgot to bring my tube. But if I brought my Dermablend, like if I am at a con, I may just put makeup over it too.
Is that typical? You do in some cases more than just letting it be exposed like that, or?
Yeah, usually, yeah.
Okay.
And if I'm doing just a photo shoot and that I know it can be edited, then I'm not as picky about that. Okay. But if I'm at a con, I will put my leg makeup, airbrush everything.
Okay.
Airbrush my legs and all that.
Okay.
So, it's like photoshopping real life.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I usually tell them, you don't have to do that with me. I rather you not try to cover yourself up with caking up makeup in that sense of it than in that sense of it. Like, unless it's wise for your face to some extent of it, it's not needed. Because I can do all the touching up myself in that case of it. So...
Oh, well, you'll have your work cut out for you.
You don't have a lot of blemishes like most people I've shot with, honestly. Like, compared to most people I've shot with, you're not bad. Like, other than that little of a birthmark, that's not bad.
I've battled with acne a lot of my life, so my skin's not the greatest because of all the treatments I've done to it.
Trust me, I'm still dealing with some of it myself in my case over my face. So, trust me, I know exactly what you mean. I love how I got you pose-wise with this stuff. My only thing is I feel bad that you're... Yeah, I just feel bad of the dirty feet thing. That's my only thing. So I should have bought wipes so you don't wipe your feet from that case of it, but it's still fine. But posing-wise still is just... And your facial expression like that, that's why I had you breathing through your nose. You see what I mean? Whereas if you were not breathing your nose... Restless bitch face.
Breathing through my mouth, you mean, right?
Yeah, breathing through your mouth, yeah. See? Again, like, confused stuff like this. I can't believe I'm just saying that out loud, but yeah. But that still is the reason why. Compared to when you're, like, grinning and you're just smiling nervously. When you naturally look like that, that's your best stuff of it, honestly. But, yeah. But, and then there's this one.
My hair looks really cool there.
That's
the way it
exactly. That's what I want. That's why I have you looking down too. That's the main reason. With the hair and the bangs, with the Momo wig that she has, I have her looking down on certain parts of her body, so that way it looks better. The hair drooping down, so that way you can either see your face better, or it just shows more of an emotion with your hair in that sense of it. So. The only thing I may have to, like I said, with the hair, touch up somewhat, because I see the hair is a little bit of a tint blue, somewhat, to some of the shots of it.
Light hitting it.
Mm-hmm. So I may have to might see if I can do it, but it's not that bad, if anything. So, so I got another question for you. If there was one theme song that could represent your entire life of it, what would that song be?
That is a good question, man. The Aqua Teen.
Really?
Theme song?
You mentioned about your birthmark looking like wheat wine, and then you throw that out. Jeez.
Because I honestly, people, I don't hear people, talk about it that much, but it's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite cartoons, that isn't anime, ever.
Really? So that's like on top of the list of anything that's not an anime.
Right.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So, funny thing is so then you know about Hand Banana. Tonight, you. I was in the car earlier this week with my brother and such. We're just reciting that whole thing. Basting that turkey today. Just checking the temperature. Make sure it be just right. That's my episode. That episode, along with the Witch Doctor, reach from sheets. I am short fucking.
Arise, chicken, arise.
Arise, chicken. Arise, chicken. Arise, chicken. Those are my two episodes. Like my brother, he'll recite Ulak, the caveman with the oar. Me on a board. hard. So like we recite like randomly episodes of that. At one point, I was actually going to be like a Black Carl. I literally was, but I can't grow a mustache.
Stick one on. He has a cheesy
I
mustache.
know. Were you there at Colossal when they had that whole swarm of Carls? There was a Colossal.
I missed the Carl swarm.
Yeah.
I was probably there, but I missed the swarm.
It was last year. There was a ton of guys dressed as Carl, like straight up, like, and they were just quoting like, "Yeah, tonight." It was so awesome. Like,
I actually saw Carl at MatsuriCon. It was actually while I was wearing my Momo. It was later that night. We were walking.
Really?
We were walking through the halls and like
so,
saw he had a cutout like cardboard meat wad, and I'm like, I have to stop you and get a selfie. I'm sorry.
That's so
Too
hilarious.
great.
That's hilariously awesome. Yeah, I one of my friends actually, I know you know about MCP Pants, right? So
Yes.
I met the rapper who plays his voice.
I've seen him MC Chris in concert like I don't even know how many. I've lost count now.
Oh, you've been to a lot of.
Yeah, I try to never miss him when
Okay.
he comes to Cleveland or Detroit.
Okay, yeah, because I've seen him a few times afterwards, but the first time I met him was actually in Arizona. I'm friends with Mega Ran, who's a nerdcore rapper. Shout outs to
Mega Ran opened for MC Chris the last time I saw him. And I just loved his set. Like, oh my god, that was the first time I'd seen him. Like, I just freaking loved it.
Yeah, I met him because Ran was putting out his album on his birthday, and he was having a party release concert in Arizona, downtown in Phoenix, and MC Chris was opening up for him actually. I was down there. The first thing and he's like, "You want to meet him?" I said, "Yeah, sure, I want to." I said, "I've been wanting to meet him since he's been to Toledo because he's come to Toledo. MC Chris been to Toledo, but I never get the chance to see him sometime. So this was the one time I got to finally meet him. So I go up to him. Conveniently, I'm wearing a brand new pair of Vans that are that has Darth Vader on them, and you know MC Chris is a huge Star Wars fan himself. So the moment I come up to him, I'm like, I finally am glad to meet you. I've been a fan of yours since Race Wars, but then again, I do love MC Chris is Dead because Hoodie Ninja is my theme song.
Yes.
And he points to me, he's like, I love those shoes more than you love my music. And I'm like, I said, I wore them for an occasion, and then we took a picture together. And he said, and I told him I'm friends with Rand because I did some photo shoots with Rand when I was in Arizona. Because for some reason, I guess he knew that I did photography. He's like, I want to shoot with you. Chris is like, I might have to hire you for my next album. And I'm starting to freak out. Like, holy crap, I'm going to be working with MC Chris.
So that would just be a dream come true of mine as far as my like cosplay journey to like collaborate with some of those dudes.
Yeah. The last time I ran into Rand was actually last year's Youmacon. He came with Shingo 2, who is the one who is the rapper who's known for collaborating with Nujabes. He does the opening theme for Samurai Champloo. If you're familiar with that song, Battle Cry. That was actually his closing number on the concert. He's singing that. Everybody hits the stage, starts singing the song. Some days, some nights, and I'm like, oh my god! And like everybody's just like, and then some of the rappers who were there were just freestyling on the song and such. It was like the best moment ever. I just wish I had recorded it. It was just amazing. And then meeting Shingo too was also great because I'm like, dude, like you're like a freaking legend in this god city of Detroit, and I know you through my friend Rand, because Rand has met so many famous people from wrestlers to other nerdcore rappers and such. But yeah, like I feel like Rand has, because there's his business card even. I just realized it. That's his business card. I still have it because he gave it to me after we were done shooting. He when I shot with him in Arizona, he wanted some promo stuff. Like he had one shot he wanted to have like his logo on a t-shirt like Superman. I remember I did that one, and then there was one where he wanted to do this shoot where he's holding like a Super Nintendo controller and he's playing a game. He's used that one. He has one where he's wearing the the robe from Naruto that most of the
the Katsuki clothes.
Yeah, the Katsuki clothes. He's wearing one of those. It's a badass photo. I'm not even gonna lie. It's one of my favorites because I did it with him, and it's like black and white, and he's just standing there, and you can see him peeping through the glasses and such. It's one of my favorite photos. I'm just like, I can't believe I made him look badass. So it's an awesome shot. I gotta show it to you later tonight. I'll send you the photo of it because it's just that badass. But it's one of my favorite shots. So, so now I got another question of it. Going with the same thing. If there's one movie you can watch more than once that you can watch it nonstop, it never gets old for you, what would it be?
The South Park movie has never gotten old for me.
Oh God, jeez. I'm just now thinking of the Blame Canada now just popped in my head now. So yeah. See, for me, like honestly, it's like, and I tell people the hint is on my arm, and as you can tell, my tattoos are Donnie Darko. At some point of it, that would be technically the movie that I can watch nonstop and every time of it. So like I have Frank here and all that stuff. I'm planning on getting the sleeve finished actually in some cases. But if I had to choose, it would actually be the first Batman film, the 1989 one. Because as you can see, I have a lot of Batman stuff. Y'all don't know this, but she sees it. A lot of Batman stuff. This guy here is my newest newest donation. So he's one of my favorites. But yeah, like I have like my entire movie collection is in there. Every animated film that's been out so far, most of the films that's been out, including The Dark Knight and such, the bad version of Justice League until like the Snyder cut is released, of course. But yeah, like everything, my bane of existence is Superman except one movie, but like everything's Batman in there. So like the first film is the only Batman movie I will watch every single time, like nonstop. But I can watch it over and over again without getting bored of the sense of it.
Another one is Thor Ragnarok that I could watch over and over.
So Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing a cosplay of Sif? I could see you doing Lady Sif.
I just might. I take requests. So, well, I mean, I love when people throw ideas at me because you might think of something I don't think of.
Well, again, what you should do you have a wish list on Amazon?
I do.
Okay, you might have to send it to me because I think what you should do, once you know you have a good idea of those costumes, you should start looking for the stuff that would be necessary and put it on the wish list.
Yeah, it's linked in my little bio.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, you should definitely make sure you market your Amazon wish list and just put it on there because that might be the case. Like I said, if there is a red swimsuit that's on there for Momo, I definitely would buy it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to look for it myself. But I definitely want that on your list.
I'm going to keep an eye out for it because that gives me another plan for the next Colossal.
Yeah, because again, either it's Colossal or we're shooting it myself and I will take you and we go to the beach over here at Maumee. I don't care. We're definitely shooting Momo in a swimsuit because that's, again, part of the goal. Because I want to shoot Momo in a swimsuit. I want to shoot Momo in a sweater and jeans. I want to shoot Momo when she's going out to eat on a diner, as if she's going out on a date with Shota. I want to shoot like a rave version of Momo, if anything, since you do tend to have a lot of rave attire in a sense of it. There's actually like a rave type of Momo that I can definitely think of.
Oh, I didn't think of rave Momo. That's a good idea.
But that's the same thing that I'm projecting when it comes to like the Harley Quinn thing. Again, it goes back to that again. Like it's different,
right,
but distinct things about some of the main parts of the costume still says they know who you are. So that's what the whole case of it. That's why I'm like the one I will say one costume that somebody did that was not particularly related to a character that I've seen someone do, and it was only because it was an artistic idea. And that was my friend Haley Cosplay and Bendo Geek, along with Sarah Fong. They did this thing where they played like rave mermaids, and what they did was they had like the mermaid scale like rave outfits from I Heart Raves, like with the bra strapped rise and then the booty shorts and such. And the hood and that connects to it. They had those, but they had them in 3 different colors, and each one of them were a different color. They wore metallic lipstick and spray painted scales on their head and faces, as touch-ups on the sense of it, so scales of it, and they wore the same color makeup, and they like painted their nails and such, and then they shot down at the arcade area, and like it looks really legit, and the guy who shot them, he did a really good job of it because they really look good. That's like the type of stuff that's okay. That's like okay, it's not a character, but it's still good nonetheless. Oh God, I love how that one looks. Like I said, like you don't have a lot of skin blemish problems of it, but like how you're tilting your head on that one and such of it.
Not so much blemishes, it's just that I have lumpy potato skin because I've messed my skin up with all the treatments.
Lumpy potato skin? At least you're not making any concoction skin treatment stuff. Like, my mom did that one time. She made this concoction, and she didn't realize until the next day it started singeing on her face. So it damaged her face really bad. Fortunately, it healed. Her skin healed, but it was bad. It was like vitiligo on her. My mom is about the same skin tone as me, of course. But when she had it on, it looked like it burned her skin, like it looked like vitiligo on her.
Oh wow!
It was
you gotta be careful. With that stuff.
My mom has a tendency to do like concoctions and stuff like that, and she thought it was a good idea.
There's nothing wrong with natural, but some stuff is kind of you gotta research.
Exactly, and that's what I had to tell her. I'm like, you shouldn't have did that, and sure enough, I'm taking her to the store. I see her in a hair cap, and her face is pink, with certain spots that still shows her natural skin color. And I'm like, what the heck happened to you? Did you burn your face or something? I'm like, you have to go to the ER. And she's like, no. She's like, I just put on a skin conditioner that I made myself, and I didn't realize it burnt my skin off. And I'm like, but she had to see a doctor to get this stuff of it to find out about getting it treated. But I guess she got it taken care of because now her skin's fine. She's not doing it anymore. Because at one point, she used to do that with her the rest of her body and making skin concoction stuff like that. Until she realized then that was just, I love how that one, see how the butt makes it work with that hair, like it's just, but like I said, that green band.
I try to cover that with my,
I know.
With the hair fluff.
Yeah.
But then as I'm posing, sometimes things fall out.
But that will be fixed eventually, don't worry. But that still it's a good looking sense of it. Your hands movement, it's great of it. So, if there's one characteristic about you or your body that you feel secure about, what would that be?
That I feel totally secure about?
You feel totally insecure.
Insecure.
Like you feel like if this part wasn't like the way it is on my body, I would be okay with how I look. Or what? Like I said, some people it's certain parts of the body, some people it's not.
Well, I had an issue with my nose, and I had surgery in May of this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I could barely tell the nose, of course, but
I mean, I'm still. You wouldn't tell that I'm still maybe like just a little bit swollen
no.
compared to what I'm gonna look like. But that is something that I absolutely just hated my entire life, could never come to terms with, and pulled the trigger, got it fixed.
Okay, so. But you're content now with it to some point of it now, or you still have moments where it's just like, I hate how it looks still in certain shots?
It's a vast improvement. Like, it's, because it was I thought at least, it was so bad before that it's such an improvement now.
Okay. Yeah.
But, I mean, my face, I don't look good with, like, where half the light hits my face anyway. Like the half shadow. That don't look good on me anyway, so.
Okay. Well, I mean, if anything, like, you have a nice face and everything. I don't want to sound really weird about saying you have a nice face. Like I sound like a serial killer when I say those words. I don't know why.
You have a nice face, let me wear it.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm trying to be.
You hang it on my face collection up here.
I'm trying to be like complimentive, but at the same time, it's like there's like trigger words like that I'm just feeling weird for. I like your face.
There's no way to really say that.
No.
You have a nice face.
You have a nice face. I'm just like, it's, again, I have so much social problems that moments like that happens with me, and then I'm like, okay, I know that I just sound like a complete weirdo just even saying those words. But I'm like, I'm just going to still say it. But then there's moments I'm like, I'm just going to still say it. I'm just like, yeah.
If you know it sounds weird, then it's not that
yeah.
big of a issue. The really weird weirdos, like, they don't know that they're sounding like that.
I'm just like, no, I say it because most of the people I'm friends with, and you're probably friends with, and people know this, is weird. So that's the only reason why. I'm like, if we're
all...
all...
wants to be friends with normal people anyway. Weird people are way more fun anyway.
Yes, that's what, exactly. I'm like, if I'm weird enough to say that to you, then you're weird enough to just accept that.
Right.
It's only when you weird out as a reaction to it that I know that either I'm saying something wrong with it or you're not as weird as you think you are. And there's a lot of posers out there who just like, oh, I'm weird too, and then they end up acting weird. They end up just freaking out or cringing about it. And I'm like, you're not weird like we're weird. You're not on the same level. I've had many people who are friends with who are just like that, and it makes me so disappointed. I'm like, you're not on the same level as weird as me. You're normal weird as in like you think that's not weird. You're not weird like me weird. When you're on the level like me weird, you just be anything crazy and saying something joke of it. Not like a perfect example is that of my mother. My mother thinks she's weird, but she's not that weird. I'm like, Mom, you're trying to fit in weird. That's what it is. So we're on the boot.
Yeah, there's definitely a try-hard weird.
Mm-hmm.
So. I've run into... I can't say I run into those people that much, but there's definitely a few that stand out once
That's
in
what
a
I
while, and you can always tell right away.
Exactly. That's why I said I'm weird enough that I'm just like, okay, I'm admitting to you I have a crush on you, but at the same time I'm just being forward about it. But I'm being weird about it because we're both weird in that sense of it. So, which I'm usually somewhat semi-weird with people, but I'm just full-blown weird with you right now. That's why I say I'm like, okay, I love this girl.
Oh, you seem normal to me right now. Most of them, my friends, are my same level of weird anyway.
Exactly.
So it's normal to me. So
okay, that's what I said. I just want you to understand that too, because I'm like,
the normal people are weird to me.
That's it. So I'm like, I don't want to be I don't want to be considered normal, because if I'm weird with you and weird of it, it's usually my way of being. I'm not gonna lie to you. Some moments to some people, it's weird as being me flirty in some cases too. I'm not gonna lie to you in that sense. So, but at the same time, like I don't want to be considered normal in that sense of it because most of my family is normal when they already cast me out to some extent about it, and I'm like, well, I don't mind being casted out. So, you see how lean you are on some cases with the person. Like if it was to like the length of your leg area from where your butt is, it would look normal, but you just look like you're slanting. I probably will. Don't worry.
Because I do like those.
Yeah, these are good shots. These are really good shots. It's just not that one.
No, not that.
But you see what I'm talking about with the open, wide eyes. Like I get it. They're anime eyes you're trying to emulate, but she didn't even have big eyes like that when she was in the anime. That's why I'm like, do some shots where you're just looking at other things.
If I don't tell myself to squint, then my eyes just get...
Yeah. Like, normally, like that one,
better.
that's fine. That's a normal eye of it. But then you just straight up just... So, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's okay, too. I love how that one looks. To again, have to crop that one, too. But you see their leg movement, too. Like, the other reason why, like... It's okay, like to some extent of a space between your legs compared to like you full blown like of it, because this makes you look like you have a mermaid leg. You understand what I'm saying when I say that term mermaid? Like you might as well just have a mermaid fin like that. You don't want that. You do want to show some difference between your leg from that space of it. But at the same, that's why when I said like you have the knee out and you're on your toe and you have the calf looking back at you, because you want still people to still show there's a different spacing in the leg. And then when I said, like, when you moved over to the wall, like, to some extent of it, and this is another thing, too, you have your head down like that, that's, like, a no situation. We don't want to see the top of your head. We want you to at least look down.
It's a horrible angle for me anyway.
Yeah, it's more of a sense of you're looking down like you're naturally looking down. So we don't want that. But with the shirt thing, that was a good idea. It's just... with these shots of it, like, it wasn't until I had to tell you, like, you know, when you had to move your shirt a little bit for that. So that was a good idea. And which, again, I have to tell you guys again, people, models, do not be afraid to give input. Don't. Because sometimes the idea of the shot in the moment sometimes is there, and you miss out on it when you're done shooting it. And that's just always the situation. But I've had many moments where the model just decides, well, what if I do this? And then they pose that way, and I'm like, that actually works out perfect. And in your sense of it, that was yours. So I will give you credit for that one to some extent of it, because it did work. But no, the outfit, I'm glad the outfit worked, though. I'm so glad because
It does work.
it's like, it's exactly what she would wear in a sense of it. It's just, the one thing I loved about shooting with Steph and with you is just, I just love that I had to keep making jokes about you flirting with Shoto, because you just could not stop laughing. You couldn't. I love how your expression
And
is.
then I keep breaking characters,
I
but
know.
most of them smile. Like
Exactly, like, yeah, like, unless you're smiling, unless I tell you to smile, but yeah, that was the one thing you kept doing. But yeah, I love your expression though in most of these, in the sense of it. So yeah,
That's a good angle.
yeah, but
It's my good angle.
yeah, it's just, again, this is gone when it comes to shooting in the white background. Just have to deal with that. But see, the biting the lip thing, that's why I said you were doing that to one extent. This was when you were naturally were doing it. This is when you were naturally. Then I told you to do it again, then you did this.
Oh.
And then it wasn't until you fixed it. That's why I was
Did
like,
I fix it?
yeah, you fixed it. Like this one.
That one's good.
Yeah, that one's good. This one isn't. You're just biting your whole lip. And then you're biting it from the side.
Gotta do the side bite.
Yeah, that's what I wanted you to do. And then this is the one full body shot of it. So, like I said, I wanted to at least get one full body shot. But you see what I was trying to do when I have you have your chin up? Because, again, you have a beautiful neck. It's beautiful as your face.
I think so. See, I feel like my neck's just, I don't know.
No.
Because I feel like it detracts from my face when I
When you have your chin
tilt
up.
my face up.
No. It's only when you're doing it to the point where, like, we see the top of your chin that it's really weird. But when you're just having it, like, somewhat up to, like, to some point your midsection of your neck is showing, it's completely fine. We want to show the neck. It's fine. Like, that length is fine. It's when you go way up to the point I see the end of your chin, I'm just like, no. We don't want to see your neck like that. We want to just see you up, in a sense of it, naturally.
That one's good.
I like that one. Your facial expression is really good with that one. I like how that one turned out, even though, yeah, that one's better. Because this one's a little bit blurry.
Too much top of the head shot,
Yeah,
too.
but I can, again, that's fine, actually. Because you're from the side. When you're doing it straight down, straight ahead towards the camera, it's awkward because we're showing the top of your head. When you do it from the side, you're still showing off your cheekbone and your jaw area to the point where your nose is pointing to the other direction. That's fine. That's completely okay.
That's a good one.
And I love how your expression on this one. That's so good. But then there's that. There's the staring there. See what I mean?
Gotta remember those ones. Those are good.
Again, like, and then once I told you about it, then you decide to squint. Now you look awkward on that one, like
I look like I smell the fart.
like either that or I told you some weird shit, and I told you some crazy shit, and you're just like, the fuck did you just say? Your facial expression. See, you really look like you're about to say, what the fuck?
I do look like in the middle of a sentence.
Mm-hmm. See, this one is okay too, because again, you're slanted to the side of the head of it. It's when you're straight down, head down, that you're doing that. It's just like, no, it looks like you're just looking just down. And then your hand placement, this is what I was talking about earlier in a sense of it. When models shoot boudoir with me, most times, the ones who don't shoot, don't know how to, when you're giving the expression that you're pulling down on the shirt or you're pulling up the shirt, you want to make sure it looks like you're having different hand movements and your hands are in a different speed of pulling up the shirt. So you never want to have it symmetrically equal. You never want to pull it down equally on the same side. You want to pull one up over the other because it looks like you're holding it one down and you're using the other one to pull it up. So you have to show that movement. So while this is okay to some extent of it because of what you did posing wise, it's fine. It's just when you do the ones on the side, when you're on your side in some cases, and you're doing that with the shirt, you show a lot more movement within it, but because you look like you're just clasping your thumb between your hands and the shirt. And that's the one thing about it. And see, like, that's the same reason also why, because like your hand looks like it's molded in with the other, like you're doing this. And
I'm
you
not
don't
sure
want
what I was doing.
and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. But at the same time, you want to show You have two hands, not one whole hand unit. Like that. See the movement with that one? That's what I'm talking about. That's
More
a good
natural.
one. Natural, yes.
Right.
And I love the fact, show a little bit of side boob.
Side boob bar.
Yep.
The side boob bar.
Side boob bar, yep. And then, your head's tilted into some direction sideways, so we're showing your jaw. And then again, your arching your legs area is fine too. That's why I said this is a good one. This is a real good one. And then, like I said, the only thing about that one is your shoulder. Because when you're tugging on the shirt, you have your shoulder up. And you don't want to do that. You want to bring the shoulders down naturally.
I think I was trying to prevent a nip slip, and my shoulders were like...
Yeah, I get it. Which I completely get it. I completely get it. Because, again, it was my fault for the shirt.
No.
The shirt she was wearing for the shoot, when you see it, guys, it's more like I cut it because I was trying to pull off a nice curvature that shows a little bit of side boob and a little bit of good cleavage, but not a lot that shows your, what's it called? But at the same time, I also didn't know about your chest size, so it's not like I could ask you that. So I was just going with a guess on the sense of it.
Hey, by the way, what's your boob size? Because I'm cutting the shirt.
Yeah, would have been awkward to ask that. So I'm just like, no, I'll just, because again, it was going to be just a regular t-shirt just cropped in the midsection. But I've seen so many, and I've shot that before, that I was just like, I don't want to do that. I've already shot a model. She had red panties and wore a used Red Hot Chili Pepper t-shirt. And the whole back design had the total Red Hot Chili Pepper shirt. And I told her we're going to cut it from the middle. I just felt bad so much for cutting that shirt. Because it was a Red Hot Chili Pepper shirt and it just half from the back. So, but see, like, with your hand, with showing the midriff of it, because of the skin right here and from your curve of the underwear on you, that's what I want with the sense of that shot. And at the same time, showing a little side boob, a little bit of butt, because you're showing a trifecta. This is the trifecta of sex appeal right here. The boobage.
The golden ratio.
Yeah, exactly. The boobage, then the belly, then the butt. That's what we're trying to go for, all three of the angles. Which is why, even though it's awkward, but I'm trying to tell you, put your butt towards me. But at the same time, like, I'm trying not to. So, again, like, your shoulders are fine to some point of it, but you did at one point like have your shoulders up, but you did fine here. So, but did you? I asked you already your dream cosplay, which was Peach, which was Daisy, right? What was that? The Daisy costume? That was your dream one.
Well, I guess my dream one would be my finished Purple Heart.
Yeah, your Purple Heart one, but that's one that you're going to already do. So I'm guessing.
Well, when I haven't done it all yet, then yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. What's the? Okay, I have another question of it. So, as much as I know how much you watch anime, what's the one anime that you think is overhyped?
People might not agree, but I think Demon Slayer is pretty overhyped.
Really?
It's still good, but it's overhyped.
Overhyped. Okay.
I still like it, but it's overhyped.
Okay, so it's like I can watch it still.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like the fan base is just too much on it.
It's always about the fan base being too much.
Yeah.
It's not the show itself, it's the fan base.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like,
I like Demon Slayer as well. I think it's a good series. It's just, I completely agree with you. It's just too much hype on that. Personally, the anime that I just don't like, that's the overhype of it, and many people have heard me say this before, is Attack on Titan. I tried so hard to watch that, but the fan base is just ridiculous about that, and sort of partly the reason why it killed me of even ever chance of watching it, because it's just so much dealing with that sense of it.
Yeah, I hear mixed feelings on that one.
Yeah, because I tried so. I sound like I'm singing the lyrics from Linkin Park when I say I tried so hard, yet so hard. I literally was just quoting Linkin Park. Jesus. So yeah. So are you living alone, or you live with your family, or how is your relationship with your family? Do they understand the weirdness of your cosplay?
Oh, they know that I'm just weird. Yeah.
So
they know that I have. They know that I'm like an artsy person. They know that I don't really fuck around with normal people anyway.
Mm.
So and they're supportive of it. So, like so long as I'm
Not doing anything crazy bad out there, like
right,
like
as
doing
long
drugs.
as so long as I'm not at any risk of bodily harm and
Mm.
and I'm making my money, they're fine.
Okay. Wow, these really turned out really good too. I like how this one did.
That looks
This
cool.
this was the shot I was talking about, and the reason why I had your hand out there, and I can lighten that up too, so don't worry about how dark it is. But that's why, like, with the foot out, the hand on the shirt, and all, that's just, oh my goodness, like, I'm getting a little hot here just seeing this. Jesus Christ, because I told you, like, this was like dream girl shot right here. But it's a, like I said, like, I love this girl, but at the same time, I was crushing on your stuff in general. That's why I said just crushing on you in the sense of it. So I'm like, it's a double side of hotness.
I'm
in the
so
sense.
glad that you love my content.
Yes, yes.
I'm glad that you dug to find my Momo because a lot of people don't like. Like, 'cause I didn't really put it on blast. Like, I
Yeah.
just posted like a few little pictures of it.
Oh no! That's definitely gonna change. Like, if I get some of these done tonight, I might be posting a few of them as little sneak previews to them. I will send them to you, of course.
Yes, let me know before
Yeah,
they go up.
yeah. Because what I'm probably gonna do is, I'll tell you this off record, but you know, how I usually send the edits, if anything. But yeah, like one or two of these might be going up, these shots, if anything, because again, like, these are just muy caliente. So yeah, that's definitely the case of it, because I would be stupid to not do that, because I'm like, I shot my crush and my dream anime crush at the same time in one shoot of it, and I can die and go to heaven now. And the best part is I get to shoot with you again when the timing is right, if anything, because I'm like, I get to shoot more of you in that case of it. So
Oh yeah.
I'm literally considering building a Shota cosplay if that means I have to shoot with you again, because I'm just like, sweet Jesus. So, but this is the one, I laugh at this one only because I can tell right now you're just like, I can't hold it any longer.
Yeah, I was in the middle of.
You were shaking. You were literally shaking during this one. I'm like, okay, yep, I'm gonna have to tell her to
That
stop.
was a leg workout.
Well, I told you before too. Like, I'm gonna put you a workout. I've had one model who, when it came to her posing, I'm doing extravagant stretches. Like, if we did like a normal boudoir shoot, you would be so tired. You would have to take like an ice bath, because like there are moments where I'm having you. And I'm not having you do stuff like a contortionist would do. Like, I'm not having you have your legs over your head or something like that.
Right.
But just stuff like where you're stretched out on the bed and your legs are in position certain ways, and then your head is up, and then you're twisting your torso or arching your back in certain ways to just show like your body's situation.
Yeah, holding a
of it.
pose, like if you hold it long enough.
Exactly. And it's stuff like that when I do in normal boudoir that tends to like get models to a point like, man, you gave me a workout. And that's why I'm like, yes, I'm just like that, because the fact that I don't want these to be just natural basic shots. I don't want that. I'm like, you're supposed to be showing off your figure very well in a sense, and that's what we're gonna do. So, but yeah, like, even something as simple as like stuff like this is like, what case of it? I
really like that. I love that angle.
Really tame too. Like, don't worry about the line on the border of the wall here, but I'm gonna cut that out. So that'll be completely out, so it'll be completely white. But still, at the same time, it's. I like the stop.
That's my
too.
good angle.
So your good angle is on your right, your left side, then, because that's your left. That's your left,
I guess
my
it
right.
is my left.
Yeah, your left, my right. So yeah.
Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Yeah.
thought my good side was my right, but it's my left.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on where the light hits.
Yeah, the light's hitting on the left, because if you're thinking left, like my facial left of it, you're thinking this side. So that's the left of it. But when I say my right, your left, my right. If you get what I mean, that's what I'm like saying in the sense of itself. And again, but it's stuff like that is the reason why it's sometimes confusing for me when it comes to me trying to like tell between the left and right, my left and right. I'm like, there's never been one moment that a model I've been like shooting with that I'm just like, your left, my right, and I'm just confused. And they're like, don't you mean the other way? And I'm like, crap. So, and then I love how this is natural you. I didn't tell you to just. All I told you was just to lean on there. You did that naturally, and I'm so happy for that one. I love how that shot so well. The one time I will let the smiling pass of it because it just to some kids of it, but at the same time. But yeah, you see how your hand was too, like up. So sense of it, like that's what I want. I want you, if you're gonna have it up like that, just not have it up because it looks like you're just lifting your fingers up in a sense of it. We don't want to see your fingers. We want it down naturally like that. That's normal sense of it. Even if your hair's in the way, that's still a good shot. So, if anything, like Momo for her wig, the bang, the one bang that's on her right side of her face of it, is usually like further out. But when it comes to Steph's costume and her wig, it was more forward, so it was like over. And usually, I don't mind models having their hair covering their face, like Jessica Rabbit style, because I'm a sucker for that. You see two of the pictures that I have up here, one that I shot and one that was my friends. They have their eyes covered. Side bang. Like, that Jessica Rabbit side bang covering the eye is gorgeous as hell. And I'm a sucker for it so much. It's one of my bad habits. I hate that I sometimes have most of the models do that. And I have to tell myself, stop telling the model to do that. They have a variety of hair, and you don't need to do that. The last model I worked with, I had her pull her hair back. She had it gorgeously even out in the front. I had to tell her to pull it back and just put a side bang to it. And while it looked nice, it was just, again, the same model. Like, it was a different model, but the same style. And I've worked with two other models before her that had that same style, and I hate that. So I'm just like, no, just stop doing that. So these are a little bit bright, but they still work.
I like the bright.
Mm-hmm. And then like your area from the butt down is good of it. But you see what I meant when I was like saying with your leg? Like, this is fine, but when you turn like that, the leg looks off. It almost looks like your leg is wrapping around your other one. You see what I mean? That's why I wanted you to pull your leg back. What I might do is I may edit that leg out. So it's going to look like that leg is a little bit lower. That's why I wanted you to have your leg a little bit lower. Because it was at a point where when it's up like that, it looks like that leg is bent around your other leg. And we don't want that. So, but as for your peach is completely fine.
As long as the peach is fine.
Exactly. Which is, like I said, most places. I love the fact that you're the only person of the girls who are a lot slimmer that actually knows they can tell the front and the back of it. Because I've had so many other models that I've worked with who are just as skinny as you, who don't believe they have a butt, and I've had to prove them wrong about that. The last model, even, she's like 7 foot tall. She's the tallest one I've ever worked with, taller than me, and she didn't believe she had a butt until I had to show her. And she's like, I never seen shots like these with my butt before. I'm like, you told me the moment you were doing a shoot with your boyfriend that you had like a little bit of a butt, but I'm like, that little bit makes a huge difference. I'm and I hate to say this in a sense of it because a lot of people are going to know that I'm one of the last few black people that can say I like small butts as much as I like big ones. I don't like super big ones.
Super big ones aren't like
super
natural,
big ones is, yeah, that's like whale big ones. I just no, but some people unfortunately think that my demographic of my culture likes that. They like the big warless butts, and I'm like, that's not true. We like big butts, but we just because they're select things doesn't mean we all are saying
within like a naturally occurring range of butts.
Yes, exactly.
Not because you see these girls that get like the injections or the butt implants, and then it looks crazy because they don't make the legs proportionate.
Exactly.
So it's like you have two like super skinny legs and a huge butt, and then you can tell it's not real because they don't do the legs to match the butt.
Which is why I have said you don't want to do Kim K goals. There are some photoshopped but gorgeous pictures of Kim when she's showing her body in a sense of it. That's fine.
But the non-photoshopped ones, her legs
you can
are
tell,
like
exactly.
super skinny and her butt looks crazy.
I've shown people like literally the sense of like when it comes to the point of her butt, it's unnatural how big it is on her leg. It's like to a point where it's like someone took a rubber tire to a twig and just stuck it on the side of it, and that's her butt. And it's so uneven in the sense of it. Whereas in like it looks good from the angles like photo wise, but the moment you see it naturally, it's like, okay, took a tire and just injected her with it. Like Dr. 90210, which is like the show. I used to watch that show so much because of the whole botched injections and such. That show and Botched, I still watch time to time.
It's like this is one muscle, like the back of your leg and your butt. That's like
Yes.
like so when I work out, like I notice like you can't grow your butt without growing that muscle.
Exactly.
So you can always tell when someone's got fake rubber fix a flat booty injections.
Whereas in your case of it, I definitely know you squats. You squat yourself very well in that. And you see how your leg is now? How backwards
I do the leg press.
Well, it's definitely working for you because, like I said, you see how it looks from this angle. And your leg not being forward makes so much a difference where it's a back like that. But you're still crossing your legs, but you still look like, again, and it's still showing the trifecta of belly, boobs, and butt sense of it. So this is like my other favorite one, if anything. And your shoulder's not up either, thank God. But at the same time, like, that's a good one too. Like, that's natural, definitely sense of it. So, and you see what I was saying with the wedgie in some cases. You have even butt dimples too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
those were there before I started working out.
So what? Do you have like a specific routine that you do with your workouts since this pandemic you've been doing, or has it been just slacking?
I've actually been working out more since the pandemic hit because I've been worried. I've been concerned about my health more. You know, like gotta be able to fight off the COVID. You know, it's important to stay healthy.
Exactly.
Anyway, and I figured, why not use this time to get where there's no cons to get super buffed, sort of like for whenever the cons happen.
Exactly. Again. Yeah. I know that most of my most of the mutual cosplayer friends that we know, some of them are like a little bit upset because of the fact that they are not able to do a lot of workouts recently because of that fact. So
yeah, I've been able to go to the gym. They've been closing. They're usually 24 hours. I like to go late at night. So I've been kind of salty they've been closing at like 10. But I'm happy that I can go at all.
Yeah, I'm hoping to head to a gym membership soon. One of my roommates, he goes to a specific gym that I might be going to. I'm trying to get back with shape because I was big like this. But then again, I know some women that don't mind this belly, but I just don't know. I'm a little, and this is my insecurity of anything, just this belly.
I mean, shit, even me, like I like bigger guys. Like I don't think most women need like a 6-pack.
That's the thing. I would love to hear more from women.
The teddy bear vibes.
That's what I'm trying to go for. I try to market that sense of it. Like, who would love a big teddy bear like me? I'm like a Kodak mother. I'm like a fucking Kodak. I'm more than a teddy bear. I'm a goddamn Kodak. I'm that big fair. I'm like, I'll come around looking sexy with a fish in my mouth. I don't care. Like, seriously. That's what I want to tell him to, because I'm like, I saw this TikTok that's the perfect example of what you're saying, and this guy, his big guy, he's pointing to his girlfriend, and he's like, somebody told me that I should work out. What do you think? And she looks at him. She's like, the fuck you aren't. And then she grabs him. I'm not losing my teddy cuddles. I'm like, yes.
Oh, it's all about the teddy bear.
Yeah, because that's just the one insecurity of me was me as that is the fact that most women I assume is like they want the 6-pack rock star heavy tat stuff like Wiz Khalifa, something like that, and I'm like, I can't be that. I am having tattoos, but there's no way.
Most chicks at least find that attractive, but it's not the only thing we find attractive. Like, we find a variety of things attractive.
Exactly. And I just wish more in the sense of it. But I'm grateful at least you know that you prefer the teddy bear.
It's all about the bear.
Yes. That's my offer woman like, and I'm a hell of a cuddler. I am not going to lie, I'm a hell of a cuddler. But at the same time, I'm just like, I have no problem just being the big guy. To some point of it, because I wasn't when I was younger. I was a twig, and people didn't notice until after high school. During my first year of college, I was big, and at one point I used to just wear big shirts because I felt, I would wear twice my size of big shirts. I still do, but some points I would wear darker shirts to make me look slimmer. But now I'm just at the point where I'm like, you know what? I have a what people consider a dad bod to some standards, but at the same time, I'm a big guy. I could look like Rick Ross if I grew this out. at some point of it. So, um, speaking of which, I know you mentioned about the Aqua Teen being your theme song. Is there a specific genre of music that you like, that you listen to specifically, that you listen to? Or I know variety might be some of the cases about it, but like, is there a particular, like, the one that goes to the most?
I just love music, like most of it, everything except shitty country.
Okay,
It's
so
the only thing I really don't like. I'm big into like
another...
nerdcore. I like rock. I like classic rock, progressive rock, hip hop.
Okay. So,
R&B, soul.
Yeah. Okay, so you're like me too with the country thing about it.
Right.
I've had one model who specifically liked 90s R&B music, and that was the weirdest thing ever, but it was a good thing. I was like,
I like 90s R&B.
Yeah,
not only that, but it's one of the things that I definitely...
Of course, and that's completely fine, because I'm like, she was like, because I told her when I was shooting with her, I said, is there any particular music you listen to? And she's like, I love R&B and from the 90s. I'm like, really? And I play nothing but that. She's singing along. In fact, I think that's her on the picture right there. The one that's framed right here on my bookshelf with the red and the tattoos.
Jackson?
Yeah. I did that as a joke because that's my dream goal. That's my goal, is to shoot for Maxim magazine. With any of the models that I worked with, in the sense of it, I want that to be my future goal, is to work for that magazine doing it. That's where I model most of my style for my boudoir shoots is from their magazine. So I did that as a little mock-up of what happened working, and she did get published in a magazine, just not Maxim. But that could happen with yours if I played around with it a bit at one point of it. But I've done that before with other people in the sense of it, just not with a cosplay. But yeah.
I mean, this is casual enough that you could.
Well, I'd rather see what we can do with your natural hair.
Oh.
Because next time we shoot, we're going to use your natural hair. You'll see your full potential on that too. Because stuff like this, we'll be shooting in the boudoir and some fashion stuff, and you'll see what I mean when it comes to that. Because it'll come to the point where you'll see the full potential. But this is...
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's why I was telling you have the hand in your hair, because that way it'll still show some of the ponytail compared to like how pooped up it is. Fortunately, you didn't show a lot of teeth on this compared to the other ones, like this one, where you saw a little bit of teeth of it. But you looked kind of nervous when I told you to put your hand on your cheeks. You've never done that to yourself, feeling like, you know what, I have a good ass, and you grab it. You've never done that to yourself.
Check my progress.
As I say, I'm like, you should be like confident to the point where, like, I know I got a fine ass, and you just grab it randomly and stuff.
I can know that I made progress, but I'm still not the type of person that's like super confident. Like I try, I work on it, but I'm not like a super confident. Or at least not like outwardly.
Well, in this sense of it, like with this part of the shoot, you were more of that compared to everything else, because like you were fine with all the other stuff, but like with this one, you like oozed out a lot more compared to everything else that we shot, especially when the bed shots come around. When we get to those. But you see your hand different here? That's what I'm talking about. Like, you're still not showing any nip, but you're still showing a little cleavage of it. But you're still having your hand gestures a little bit out there, sense of it. And then I love the fact how you're looking up. That was the one, the face angles here. But I do love this angle part too. So, there we go. That's better. Sometimes with my lenses, this is when I usually switch lenses. I love this one. But just... The only thing is the hands, but I can, at least you have it in a different way with your hand is, that I can let that slide. But I would have loved when you did this, actually. That was what I was looking for.
That's a good one.
That is a really good one. I love how that one looks. And you see how the white brightens you up too. So like this border of the area will be the only thing that's sticking out. I'll probably crop this off and leave the brown border, but I can always cut that out too and just make it all completely white. So I can always do that as well. That's why I have the whiteboard there in the first place. But I love how your chin is. Only thing is, but that face, your facial, your mouth facial is great, but just the eye.
I don't know if I was mid-sentence or what happened.
I know. You probably was, but yeah, like that's just the only thing I say. So. See, and then this is when you were nervous again. I knew you were nervous like this one again. That's exactly how you smile when you're nervous. Yeah, that's a good one too. But you see how your hand movement is? That's what I want in that sense of it. But you're not lifting the shirt out. You're just pulling it to that sense of it. So, but you did really great with that. Oh, I love that one. That's such a good one. Oh my! I can so see you selling this one as a print of Wise of it for like Patreon or something like that cases. But
I have OnlyFans and a separate print store.
Yeah, like for the print store, if anything, like that one.
I need like these size prints to offer because I offer them, but it's crazy sometimes to find the right.
I can like I said, it's those and the print like that size that I can offer. It's specific stores, print shops that I have to go to for these.
Right, because at cons, like you want to buy like a bunch of these to sell as prints, like signature prints, but then like you got to sell them for more expensive because you've paid all this money to get like the more you order, the more expensive they get, the bigger the print is, like this size.
Yeah, like all these ones in the middle, from the rows down of 3 on the middle, these are all shots that I've done. All of them from ones. And in fact, the girl right there, you can tell, the one in the middle, she's actually cosplaying as Lightning. That's my friend from...
oh, they have your logo on them.
Yeah, that's the logo you'll see on them. But that one right there, you can tell because she has the Kalahari band on her ankle. She's dressed as Lightning from Final Fantasy. But that's a swimsuit.
I just noticed the Kalahari
band. Yeah, she does that when she's wearing it, when she's at the con. She wears it like that because she can't wear it.
Yeah, so it's not in the way.
So then I can just Photoshop it out. But this was the first time I shot with her. This is my friend from Toronto. Her name is Chantel. Zombie for y'all fans out there. She's dressed as Lightning from Final Fantasy. And the swimsuit she's wearing is a custom piece from a friend named Sarah who owns a company called Sci-Fi Candy. Shout out to Sci-Fi Candy. But with that shot, she's in one of the huts outside. But it's stuff like that. Like I said, that's my normal type of shots of it. But that's the print. I've offered that to her to sell, in a sense of it. And then the one on the top corner, the girl in the red and black bustier, that I shot in a hotel at Kalahari. And that's my friend Marissa, who I'm supposed to be shooting with again soon. We shot that one. That was our first time shooting. That was in Kalahari in the hotel. So yeah, it's stuff like those two of the shots of it. But all these are prints that I've done. As you can tell, some of them have their signatures because I tell them if you want to print personally, I can give one to you. In exchange, you have to sign one from me. So I want my own personal collection of it. So most of them are signed by the models themselves. For the case of they shot with me. The only one that I've shot with that was not in the same place is the one with the girl with the tattoo on the bottom right here on the left. The one in the middle left with the black tank top. She is the only one that I shot with in Arizona that I shot with. The one in the bottom with the Misfits shirt, the girl with the skull gloves and the skull mask, and the girl with the sequined top. That's all my bedroom.
I like how the black and white look came out.
Honestly, I want to play around with...
It's like an album cover.
That's my strong suit. And a lot of y'all people at home know this. I'll show you some of my black and whites the next time. I would have done some black and whites with that stuff. It's just I really feel color makes it work. When we shoot again, you'll see my black and white's full potential. That's always been my strong suit is my black and whites. I always love to... I could edit one of our shots to look black and white. It's just wouldn't be just as amazing as these, but they would be just as good. So that's why I'm like, I shot those particularly in black and white. I just feel like the one shoot with the girl in the Misfits hat, I actually did this concept where she was soaking wet and wearing like a large dress and a tank top stuff of it. And we shot that in black and white and got that published. Like, the magazines I had upstairs, those were all my stuff for publication, trust me. But yeah, like, when we shoot again, you'll see my black and white. I definitely want to shoot some black and white with you in Boudoir. So, like, stuff like it was close to this or to what we shot in the bed, you'll definitely see that. So, let's keep going. And then you're nervous again with your teeth like that. When you have your top row just showing out, that's fine. But when you knees out like that, since it's... Ugh, you look adorable. I love that one. There we go. That's what I love. Like that one. You look so cute. And then the red. matching with the red. Like I said, that's her colors, definitely.
So it definitely works.
Yeah, that's why I said the red and black work so well.
You already have red sheets.
Yep, that's why I'm like, I'm trying. Funny thing is, that black sheet is the only thing I have of my bed sheets for the black
black
one.
And red.
Yeah. So it's mostly the red satin sheets that I bought for that bed. So it worked out well. I love how that looks actually, because with your eyes covered to that point of it. So
that's a good one.
Yep, and then there's that one. And you did a good job arching your back at the last minute of it. So, oh wow, that one really turned out good. So, and then there's that one. I like to do a lot of long shots like that, sensitive just in case. Plus,
it's the rule of thirds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Negatives. Well, negative space, but maybe it is negative space. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, with the blank sense of it. But you know what? Sometimes when it comes to certain shots like these, they also help wise in a print look better in some cases, especially when you're putting a signature. So
that is true.
That's why some cases. And then there's that one. See what I'm talking about with your face? The only thing, like I said, is just I didn't want your backside area to be fuzzed out that much of it, but it works. But it's still manageable to be visible in that sense of it, so that's why I said. And then there's that one. See what you're doing with your foot? How flat it was? You just have it like that. Never have your foot like that when you have it in the air. When you're stretching out your legs or stretching out your legs to like that area, either up or side sense of it, never flat foot. Unless you're balancing yourself standing on that foot. That's the only way. Always go arch up. Just think ballet. Always think that. Oh, ballet.
Is that like a ballet foot?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like that. You see how your foot looks? It looks better. It makes your legs longer.
Well, I have weird shaped feet to begin with, so you gotta deal with one.
That's not the problem. It's the fact of you flatten your feet to the sense of it where it's like you're holding something up, like you're balancing something on your foot. You don't want to look like that. You want to keep it straight up like my hand is in some cases. Just arch it like that because it makes your feet and your legs look longer. That's what you want to do. So that's usually the case of some secrets of it. I love how that one looks actually. So you look really good on that one. And that one's a good one too actually. I'm going to have so much fun editing these, you have no idea. That's a nice one too, but yeah, the angle. And then there we go. Like I was trying to dim the light a little bit.
That's so cool with that lighting.
Mm-hmm.
That dim.
Yeah, that's what I want.
It reflects off the sheets real cool.
Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to do. That's why I changed the light fixture on that sense of it. And then there becomes that. That's what I was saying. Like it's good. Only because of that shot of it, but your angle from where your body is, that's the only reason why it works in it. That's what I wanted. And then there's that one. But then I wanted you to move your legs a bit, and that worked out well too. And then it started getting weird because I was changing my perspective angles. Then it came better. Then it changed again. And then we get back again. That's a really good one. Like, I love how that one turned out. So... But we're almost wrapped up in a sense of it, so I'm going to wrap up our interview. We're going to still be looking at the edits and such about it. So before we end this episode, is there anything you want to address to people out there? Let them know where they can find you online and such.
Yeah, I'm mainly on Instagram. It's Stephanie Pixii. XXI. I do have a Twitter too. Tried to get me on there. I'm mainly on Instagram. It's where I live most of the time. Yeah. Twitter is Pixii Stephanie. With the link in my bio, I have a print shop and OnlyFans. So that is where you can usually find me. I do live broadcasts once in a while too. I stream once in a while. So. Do
you have a Twitch channel, or are you going on OnlyFans to stream live, or?
I have a little baby Twitch channel.
Okay.
My OnlyFans is the subs are free, and I have the occasional pay message or pay post. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I will make sure. Yep.
See my goodies on there.
Okay. Well, I will make sure that you guys know about more on that sense of it for her. Her links later. They will be also in the description on this episode. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's episode of the Yoko Misaki Show. Make sure you check out everything on my social media, such as Jirai Media on Instagram, Yoko Misaki on Twitter, and of course, check me out on Facebook as well. And make sure you check out my website, JiraiMedia.com, for all your photography needs. This has been the Cat Ear Extraordinaire once again, telling you have a great holiday, a happy new year, and as always, later days.